Oh, hello there. Apologies. I was listening to myself via my Instagram stories and my recently updated mixes. Little blends I've been uploading onto my Instagram stories. Check that out if you haven't checked it out already. Man, uploading clips of yourself on Instagram is so. I don't know why it feels more cringe inducing and awkward and like I feel more shy doing that sort of stuff than I do uploading clips of myself on my channel. How's that possible? How is it possible that I feel way more shyer about uploading clips of myself DJing or even talking? Like, I don't think I've ever shared a clip of myself on this podcast, random show, ever on my Instagram stories, ever. I've never shared it. Which I probably should. I should be making reels. I should be making TikToks and it'll probably help me blow. And at this moment now, I need to blow. I need to get myself out of the depths of poverty, right? I just watched the flipping documentary video in the last episode of one of my former sworn enemies or somebody, it's not really an enemy anymore. Big up Reggie Yates. But one of my former sworn enemies who's now living in a flipping mansion somewhere in London. And by the way, that house looked very Londonish. It didn't look like he had to go and move out to fucking Manchester. He didn't have to go to Liverpool. He didn't have to go to all these different places like Leeds or Nottingham to go find somewhere affordable. No. He bought a house in the same city he was brought up in, born in, whatever. And it's fucking amazing. It looks like, and I think he said in the documentary, the house was a family home prior. So he bought a family home that he's living in by himself. Swag. Now, how did he do that? Of course, Reggie Yates has been incredibly talented since we were young. He's always been, doing his thing. I think even when I was coming up in the scene, he already was a presenter on TV and shit. So he was always been making good money, grafting, doing his thing. So, that probably helped. But he got there anyway. So if I want to get there, if I want to supersede, if I want to surpass, right? If I want to surpass and go past my sworn enemy, Reggie Yates, I have to start getting more comfortable with posting pictures of myself or posting videos of myself talking on social media. Talking, streaming, mixing. I've got to share more. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, what would Virgil do? RIP Virgil Abloh. What would Virgil do? Virgil will share the whole damn thing. Virgil will be sharing, like, I'm even shy about posting videos of myself mixing on my little MIDI controller on my fucking dining room table, which is no biggie. Right? You're grafting, you're figuring it out. It's no biggie. I even feel embarrassed to post videos of myself practicing my mixing on my dining room table. Or when I physically sometimes, because I'm a bit of a freak, I'll sometimes physically write out. I'll physically sit there, right? I'll physically sit there and write out my set. I'll figure out a set, like I have like words and themes. I might have a song in mind that I listen to or something that I overheard someone playing in a car, and I'll write it down. I'll legitimately write it down and be like, okay, cool. I want it to sound like this, I want it to sound like that, I want it to sound like this. So all those things are pretty interesting and pretty cool, I think, to share. Maybe, who knows, maybe not. Maybe I'm just gassing myself up. But I don't share any of it because I'm too shy. And in the end, who's the one that suffers the most? Who's the one that suffers the most? Me. And people will think to themselves, hold on, Agasido, you shy? No way. Yeah, I am, man. I am. I'm a shy little girl. I'm a shy little girl, man. I'm just a shy little girl. Honestly. I can't do this shit no more, man. I'm a shy little girl. I'm just trying to make my way through life. I don't want any trouble. You feel me? That's basically it. That's basically my life. But unfortunately, I'm starting to get more confident now. As you can see via Instagram, on my Instagram, if you're following me on there, you can see I'm getting a little bit more confident now. And I'm starting to share more of my stories. And I'm starting to be that person now that needs to do that sort of thing. Because in the end, the only way I'm going to get forward in life is if I start doing that thing more often. So big up everybody that's out there that's been supporting, man. Big up everybody out there that's not supporting, man. It's all good. It all works the same way. No harm, no foul play. We are out here doing what needs to be done. By the way, this is episode number 489, I'm pretty sure. Part 5 of This Is My Stream, the final part. I apologize for all the parts. I've been lazy, and I'm also trying to get all the tabs away. I'm trying to get through all the tabs that I had post Berlin trip and Bergheim birthday kind of, what you call it? Trip that I went to, which I didn't end up going to Bergheim, which is funny in itself, but whatever. I'm trying to get rid of all these tabs, so please forgive me if the tabs and the numbers are getting annoying, but we will get through this. We will get through this. So here we are. Episode number 489, part 5 of This Is My Stream. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Agostinho Zinga, and this is the #1 cultural commentary show in the land. The #1 cultural commentary show in the land. I thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure. Never, ever, ever a chore, by the way. Some people think it's a chore, but to me, it's never a chore. So I'm so glad to be here with you today. Thank you for being here with me today, and I hope we have a pleasant, if not entertaining stream, and I'm sure that will be the case because you guys, you give me the life power. Or let me not lie. I'll be doing this if I had one listener. I don't really give a crap about the audience, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie. Whether you guys are here or not, I'll still be waffling into deep space. I'm not gonna lie, which is probably a sign of my mental illness. I'm not gonna lie, that I don't really need an audience to kind of entertain myself. But here we are. I entertain myself, and by proxy or by default, you get entertained also. So essentially, everybody wins. No? Everybody wins. I entertain myself. I make myself laugh. I fascinate myself. And in the process, you guys also get some entertainment out of it. So big up everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you all. So, first things first. We need to talk about and get out the way. United v Man City. I didn't talk about this. I didn't do a match review for this, but I did watch it live. I was fortunate enough to watch this live whilst I was in Berlin, but I was unfortunate enough to watch it live whilst I was in Berlin, and I had some crappy luck with streams. I had the worst luck possible with streams. So much so that I missed both goals live. So the whole reason why I want to watch it was actually to live stream it and add more content to my channel, but also to give me the opportunity to maybe, if we won, to goon out and use those clips to kind of put on my channel and put on social media. I'd missed the goals live, so I couldn't even goon. I couldn't even go crazy. I couldn't kick a table. I couldn't dash some beer on the floor. I couldn't do anything. I just had to kind of watch it, normally. So it is what it is. Plus, I had some people in the stream chat. I was watching it live who are flipping spoiling stuff. So big up the spoilers. Now when I'm doing the live stream football, I'm never gonna look at the chat. I'm just gonna turn the fucking phone away and not look at the chat at all and just kind of, do my little play-by-play of the actual match, because the chat can sometimes be very, very mean. You told them not to spoil games and they keep spoiling games. It's like, bro, allow it. I'm watching this on an illegal stream. It's like 4 minutes behind. Like, allow me. Anyway, regardless, United beat Man City 2-1 away from home. An amazing result, to be fair. An amazing result. More so because I felt as if, like, in the first half anyway, I don't think anybody really deserved to win in general. If you take the first half in isolation, I thought we did fairly okay. We didn't trouble Man City too much, but we did look a lot more in control. Like, this is the best I've seen us look. Like, even though the results haven't been the greatest consistency-wise, I think you can definitely tell that Amorim is making us more of a team. We look more solid throughout. Yes, we've done some mistakes in previous matches. Tottenham won the other day. I'm going to talk about it as well. But I think in general, we look way more like a team. We press like a team. We attack like a team. Everybody kind of knows their jobs. And if anything, the thing I like about the most, he simplified how we play. There's not a lot of individual brilliance. Everything kind of revolves around the team. The team putting balls in certain positions that then allows people to score. The team advancing the ball. The team protecting the goal. The only thing that I don't like so far is our set piece defending. I don't like that zonal shit, and I don't like how we're defending on the set pieces. There's not a lot of ownership on zonal marking. There's a lot of like, okay, this other person's going to get it if it comes past me, and I feel as if we're not really on the front foot. But apart from that, I felt we played really well. I felt like we frustrated City pretty well. And the goal, I think, if anything, came against run of play. I think the goal that Garvidal scored, came against a run of play. And I think at fault, as great as Ahmad has been, I think at fault was definitely Ahmad. Ahmad definitely has some blame for that goal. The ball goes out to the wide, and I think Kevin De Bruyne is one that crosses it in. But it's one of those balls where it's a 50-50 ball. And Ahmad pulls his leg away last minute. And then obviously Kevin De Bruyne is able to get connection on the ball. He kind of clips it in. and it ends up on Gol Vidal's head and he kind of heads it. You can maybe say Onana could have saved it, but I think that's a bit unfair. He was rooted to the ground, waiting for the header to come in, and Gol Vidal basically headed it the opposite direction of where his body was leaning, so he couldn't switch his balance to save it. So I think the Onana hate is a bit OTT. Even though he's a rubbish goalkeeper as well, I don't think he's to blame for that particular goal. And obviously we're 1-0 down. But because of how we were playing, I was under no illusions that we were going to at least draw the game. I swear to God. And I wouldn't have been that mad if we would have lost, because I felt like the performance was fairly decent. So when we did eventually end up getting the penalty that made us level, I was more than happy with that. I didn't mind the penalty. But then I remembered, oh shit, we're 13th. We're 13th. So even though we're playing Man City, one of the best teams in the country, one of the most successful teams in recent years, we still have to go into that game wanting to win. We can't afford not to win every league game until the end of the season. We're just too low in the table. And also, I think it would give the manager a good boost for the next season. I don't think it's important we finish top 4 personally. Obviously for the club it is, and for some fans who love trophies, but I don't think it's important that we get into a Champions League just for the sake of getting a Champions League. I think it's better to be in a Champions League when you have a possibility of winning it. It kind of reminds me of the times when Arsenal were obsessed with finishing in the top 4. Like, what's the point of finishing in the top 4 and getting Champions League if you've got no chance of winning it? It makes no sense. Especially, like, you don't believe it. No one does believe it, but you're in it every year just for the money. Like, allow it. And we've got bigger problems anyway to kind of tackle. So I'm not that bothered about finishing top 4. What I want is the club to finish strongly as possible in the league so that it gives Amorim the reason and the justification to let go of certain players and to maybe seek other players to replace those. And he kind of reinstates his authority in the dressing room. I think already everybody knows who's in charge. I think it didn't take him long to kind of stamp his authority, but I do think if we're able to finish strong, he can really let his nuts hang. He can figuratively let his nuts hang if we do end up finishing in the top 4 at the end of the season. So then when we end up getting the winning goal, I was going crazy. The penalty again, brilliant play once more by Ahmad. He definitely is turning into one of our most important players. I would go as far as saying I would love to see Ahmad play in the Bruno role. I'd love to see Ahmad play a bit more centrally. I would maybe like to see a team that doesn't conclude Bruno. Even though I do like what Amorim's doing with Bruno, where you could tell he's told him no more hitting hopes, no more fucking flicks around the corner. Like, he's really been kind of told to play simpler. And I have to admit, I get the feeling, looking from afar, it's actually made Bruno happier. I think Bruno's happier playing for us now than he was in the past because of this, this Captain Fantastic thing he kept doing, which I personally hated. I think he only did that because he felt like he had to. No one was going to do it. The manager wasn't putting us in a shape or didn't have the tactics that would bring the best out of the other players, so he felt as if like he had to take ownership. So I'm not too mad at it, but I prefer how he's playing now. Playing simple, passing the ball, moving into spaces, and then once he gets into areas where he can impact the game, he's trying to find some balls. The only sad thing is that we've now got a Bruno who's not as effective as when he first signed. And obviously if he plays, other teams have figured him out. He can't really dribble either, so it doesn't really help him when he's trying to find space to kind of pass the ball. Like I saw even against Tottenham the other day, he tried a lot of those like passes outside the boot, those kind of really rangy passes that go around the defender, and they all were miss-hit or over-hit or under-hit. So it's unfortunate Ruben Amorim came now because he hasn't got the best Bruno to work with, and most likely that Bruno will need to be replaced. But I do love how Amad Diallo is able to come in from the wings and kind of occupy those spaces, because that run he made to win the penalty is the run that Bruno would have made yesteryears. Bruno would have made that run. He would have been in a position to win that penalty, but Ahmad was incredibly cute, incredibly cultured to go into the box, put his foot on the ball, notice that Matheus Nunes was coming in and win the penalty. I feel really gutted for Matheus Nunes. As much as I hate Man City, I think Matheus Nunes is kind of like, I feel bad for him because I don't feel like Man City ever needed him. I was saying this during the live stream, and I was being a little bit facetious. I was saying during the live stream, I was being a little bit facetious, but I honestly think Man City kind of bought Nunes basically because they didn't want Wolves to have him, and they didn't want to strengthen Wolves at that time who were doing pretty well. And, because at the time, Wolves were like everybody's bogey team. Not that they were going to win the league or anything, but they were everybody's bogey team. So they kind of on purpose, took away a weapon from their bogey team and put them in their team. But I don't think they'd ever had a plan for him. So he's kind of been wasted at Man City. He finally gets his chance now to play a run of games, you know, in not his favourite position. He's playing basically as a fullback. And he played pretty well, I think, against us. And he makes one mistake, one lapse in concentration, and he gives away a penalty. But I don't know what he was trying to do. It was one of the worst decisions ever done. I don't know what he was trying to do, because at that moment, I felt like we were the better team anyway, even though we're one goal down. And he immediately gave us the onus. That penalty immediately gave us the advantage, immediately gave us the fucking momentum. So that was one of the worst challenges I've ever seen. Very unnecessary. And obviously a Stonewall penalty. Bruno takes it, sends the keeper the wrong way. And Bruno's celebration, bro, was so fucking good, man. What a perfect celebration for a penalty like that. Like all these palms, like, do you know what I mean? Fucking brilliant. And then straight after that, basically, a couple minutes later, Amad Diallo scores basically one of the best goals I've ever seen in a derby. Maybe one of the most important goals, especially for him as a player. Let's cast our mind back to this. Ten Hag wanted Amad Diallo out of the club. There was a time where Ten Hag wanted Amad Diallo sold. If you listen to people online, if you listen to the rumours, one particular guy who I think might have been on Sai TV stream, he might have been on Nuruddin stream, that guy Red Devil, big up him. I forgot who he was on, but there was some guy who is friends with Iwobi at Fulham, who basically said that before the season started, there were talks that Fulham were going to take Amad Diallo on loan with the option to buy. Fulham is a good club. I think Fulham might be 6th or something in the Premier League. I think Fulham might even be above us. Fulham, you know, they've got a great manager, great squad. Erik ten Hag was willing to let Amad Diallo go to Fulham. He would have fucking killed it, don't get me wrong, but we need him. We need him. So that's one of the things I can never get my head around. He seems like a really quiet, shy, humble guy. I really would love to ask Erik ten Hag, what the fuck didn't you see in Amad Diallo? What didn't you see in him? What did you see in Anthony that you thought Amad Diallo couldn't compete against? Because that's the thing that was really strange. No one is saying that Amad Diallo is undroppable and he's fucking messy and he's the best player in the world. No one's saying that. But at the time that he wasn't getting minutes, he was behind Rashford and Anthony. And you thought to yourself, hold on, he's not in front of like world-class players. These players also have bad matches. These players are also not in the best form. Why can't he get a game, even some minutes ahead of these guys? Never happened. So it's good to see that off the back of Ruben Amorim giving him the arm around the shoulder and helping him and playing him for those games that he managed. I think 5 games. I think he might have started 4 and came on the sub as 1, or maybe it was 3 and 2. I forgot which one it was. Doesn't matter. Ruben Amorim helped, and of course when Ruben Amorim come, he's now trusting him a lot. And then that goal was just beautiful. It was a run where he did it incorrectly. Then he bends his run. Then Lisandro Martinez sees the run. Perfect ball into the space. Amad Diallo's control with the ball in the air, flicks it past the goalkeeper, and then the side foot into the net. Because that's what people underestimate. I think the control is hard enough. Because some people could argue that the ball was a bit overhit. I don't think so. I think the ball was perfect from Lisandro Martinez. The ball wasn't overhit. The ball was perfect. So he passed the ball into space, touched it with his toe, brings it down, and then passes into empty net. Oh my freaking God. What an amazing goal. Honestly. Loved every minute of it. Really did love every minute of it. I've absolutely went crazy. Even though I didn't see it live, I absolutely went really crazy. And if anything, it was great to see Man City down in the dumps because they're going through a bit of bad form. And it was good to us, obviously, to get the victory. But Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. What performance all around. Really, really happy with that one. So big up Ruben Amorim and big up the players for doing what needs to be done and getting us slowly but surely creeping up the table. Every win is super, super important, even though we're still 13th. Brilliant. And then the other day, United v Tottenham in the Carling Cup. I'm not even going to analyze this game because I thought it was a fucking horrible game in terms of quality. I thought it was a dog shit game in terms of quality. Legitimately, a dog shit game. But one thing I can say for sure is that I like that Amorim is trying to give the players every opportunity possible to stay at the club. He changes formation. He changes personnel, sometimes formation, but changes the lineup and basically gives everybody else on the bench a chance to shine. Like, hey, I'm the new manager. Yes, I get it. But every player here gets an opportunity, a blank slate to impress. And if possible, you maybe have a chance to stay. Unfortunately, the person that probably is not going to stay is Bayinda. Bayinda really, really let himself down. Opportunity he was given, he was fucking horrible. But as much as I want to blame Bayinda, a part of me is also thinking to myself, like, I wonder how much he's been hampered by never playing. For whatever reason, Erik ten Hag didn't believe in rotating goalkeepers, even in like cup games. Even in Carling Cup games, he would never rotate Onana. There was a period during the African Nations Cup where he got special permission to keep Onana until the very, very last minute. He didn't trust Bayinda, or maybe he didn't just believe in dropping us first team goalkeeper. I don't know. But I think the lack of like game time, the lack of form, the lack of just playing football at that level under the bright lights really affected Bayinda. Like you could tell he was, you know what I mean? It got to him. Because some of the goals he conceded and the way he conceded them was like, bro, this has to be nerves, man. You have to be better than this, because this is if you're not better than this, then you are not even a League One goalkeeper. You're horrendous. So that was pretty bad. I thought Lisandro Martinez was not the best, to be honest. Lindelof was pretty good before he got injured. I'm gutted for him. I liked Lenny Euro's performance. I personally did. I personally liked it. Some people didn't, but I personally liked it. I thought this was maybe Mazwari's worst game for United. I think since he's come in, he hasn't really had a bad game. But I think this might have been Mazwari's worst game for United. I didn't like him at all. I thought Anthony also didn't impress. He didn't really take his chance. He was pretty average. I thought Eriksen did pretty well against Tottenham. Obviously, his former side. I thought him and Ugarte did very, very well. Dalot, not really that impressive. Bruno Fernandes, a little bit not impressive also. And Højlund was pretty dog shit too. And making you want to question whether or not we actually are going to go into the market and try and sign a striker, because, you know, I'm all for us having different strikers with different sort of like, you know, attributes and shit. But the issue I'm having at the moment is like Højlund just looks like such a battering ram. He looks so clumsy. He looks so like uncoordinated. It's not really giving you hope that he's ever going to blossom into like a proper elite striker. He's a bit of a battering ram, you know, in like a James Beattie way, but without James Beattie's kind of close control. Because talk about James Beattie as much as you want, but that kid had really good close control. But Højlund doesn't. Højlund, bro, like, people don't like to talk about Højlund like that because I guess he's white. But the same way we talk about black strikers and their lack of first touch, like Lukaku with the fucking Timberlands meme, I think we need to do the same thing with fucking Højlund. I think people need to start talking about Højlund's lack of first touch or his horrendous first touch the same way they did when it came to flipping Lukaku, because Jesus Christ, man, the ball just absolutely cannonballs, absolutely launches off of his feet when he gets it. It's absolutely crazy how bad he is when it comes to controlling the ball, holding up and just looking like a menace. He was shocking. So I'm not surprised that he made the subs that he made, bringing on the likes of Zerski, Diallo, Garnacho, and Evans and Mainu. Unfortunately for Garnacho, he was horrible too. After all the drama of getting dropped for the derby and all the drama about him, allegedly his brother leaking team news and everything that Amorim said about him and Rashford, Garnacho was terrible, man. Garnacho was fucking terrible. He did not do anything to impress. Zero. He was really anonymous, running into blind alleys, not really getting the ball into the box. Like, he was shockingly bad. Shockingly bad. The wild thing though, if I remember correctly, I don't think he tried a shot, or am I remembering this incorrectly? Maybe I watched it too late. But I don't think he tried a single shot. I don't think he tried a single one. So I'm not sure if that's an instruction for the manager to stop shooting so recklessly, or if that's him trying to decide to change things. But it was, I don't know. It was absolutely shocking performance from Garnacho. Almost anonymous in terms of how he was impacting the game, you know. Same maybe could be safe for like, you know, that's Zerski and shit as well. But Garnacho definitely was the one that was pretty anonymous. So all in all, two pretty shitty games from us. In terms of, you know, one pretty shitty game, one really good result. The Tottenham game, again, I'm not really going to analyze it too much, but goalkeeper mistakes from both teams really cost them. I can't believe that Fraser Forster guy for Tottenham. There was a time I seem to remember where Fraser Forster was regarded like a Nick Pope type of goalkeeper. He was the next great hope of England. Like, people spoke about him really highly. He is dog shit, man. Fraser Forster is absolutely dog shit. So to see the goals he conceded, you know, I'm not too mad at what happened in general. So big up the team. Again, Carling Cup, I don't really give a fuck, to be fair. I'm only really in for the the domestic in terms of FA, Premier League, and obviously the Champions League and shit. But I don't really give a shit about the League Cup whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie, not care about it at all. I think the people that do care, especially the managers, are the ones that are just trying to cope or trying to show signs that the project is working. Blah blah blah. But I think most people don't really care. I know I don't anyway. But again, what do I know? What do I know? Continuing on, let's talk about Marcus Rashford. The Rashford saga. The Rashford saga. I don't really know what's happening here. It seems very strange. But essentially, Marcus Rashford got dropped for the Man City game along with Garnacho. Amorim comes out and says it wasn't a disciplinary issue. It's tactical. And basically implied that Garnacho and Rashford are not training at the levels that he wants to play. So he requires players to train a certain way, carry themselves a certain way in training, all this sort of shit that goes into his selection policy. And he basically said that these guys aren't doing it. So he decided to keep them home. As soon as he kept them home, the rumor mill started about what's happening, blah, 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 blah. People started to, think that maybe Garnacho was dropped because of the story about his brother leaking stuff. And then other people assumed that most likely it was relating to the thing about, what's his name? To the thing about, people when it came to Rashford, sorry, they were debating what it could be. And I think some people suggested that it could be his lifestyle. Because it seems like over the last few years that he's gotten more into going out and partying. And it also seems like he doesn't really enjoy playing for the club, United, anymore. So it made sense why the manager would come in and see maybe that his levels have dropped since he signed, because generally he doesn't really want to be there deep down. So let's read the article here. The article comes from Sky Sports. Man United forward Marcus Rashford has told journalist Henry Winter that he's ready for a new challenge amid rumours of the club's Ineos ownership harbouring plans to cash in on a Carrington graduate. Rashford, 27, was left out of Ruben Amorim's squad for the Manchester derby at the weekend, which United dramatically won 2-1, with the head coach appearing to question his professionalism in training. He says the following: "For me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps," he said. When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. If I know that a situation is really bad, I'm not going to make it worse. So I was initially confused why he even sat down with Henry Winter anyway. I was really confused, because those sort of interviews you only really do when you're guaranteed you're leaving, or when you're really trying to push a move. You don't really sit down with a journalist and just like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I know the manager said what he said, but I don't know. I didn't really get the impression that he wanted him to leave ASAP, It's almost like the manager said what he said about, you know what I mean? And that was it. But I feel like people took it a bit overboard, or maybe he misinterpreted what was going on. Regardless, he sat down with Henry Winter and he says he wants to leave. And obviously everybody goes crazy over the comments. He says, "I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement and they'll take it from me. It's disheartening to be left out of the derby, but it's happened. We won the game, so let's move on. It's disappointing, but I'm also someone that as I've got older, I can deal with the setbacks. What am I going to do about it? Sit there and cry about it, or do I do my best next time I'm available?" So that's how you got it, right? He gets dropped for the Man City game, which is a big deal. Right, a player of his standard, a player of his quality, a player of his reputation, getting dropped for the game against Man City is a big deal. So it kind of sends the message to me that Ruben Amorim wants him to get out. Right? Maybe he just wants a sacrificial lamb. Maybe he just thinks his professionalism isn't where it needs to be, and it's harboring ill intent, and it's damaging maybe his team or whatever. Then send him away. No issue with that whatsoever. I got no issue whatsoever. Don't care. Cool. Send him away. The only problem I have with it is the back talking, is the double talking. So now we got this news. So ahead of the game against Tottenham, I think, and just in general, Ruben Amorim was asked again about the Rashford comments, and he basically said the door is still open. It's not closed. So I'm not understanding what's going on. So you leave him out of the squad. You make the comments about, I need players to train. I look at how you train. I look at interact with the other teammates. I look at how you interact with staff, how you walk, all this stuff in selection policy. So that's the case. Why would you fire somebody like, that? It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't really know what's going on here. Is Rich actually going to interview somewhere? Or is it something different? I don't really know. Either way, Ruben Amorim says the door is still open for Marcus Rashford versus this article on Sky Sports News. He says Ruben Amorim has refused to close the door on Marcus Rashford at Man United, despite the forwards hinting that he's ready for a fresh start. On Tuesday, Rashford told journalist Henry Winter that he's ready for a new challenge amid rumours of a club's Ineos ownership harbouring plans to cash in on the Carrington graduate. Rashford was left out of Ruben Amorim's squad in the derby last weekend. However, speaking ahead of Man United's Carabao Cup against Tottenham, Amorim suggested the big talent Rashford still has a part to play. So I'm not too sure if he's doing this because he requires professionalism across the board. So he's saying, hey, I don't care that you want to leave. While you're here, you still have to put in maximum effort. I'm not sure if that's what he's trying to get at, or if he generally was misinterpreted when he said what he said about Rashford's lack of involvement and professionalism in the squad and shit. I don't know. Let's continue. When asked about Rashford's comments, Amorim said, I think he's right. We have a lot here. We have here a new challenge. Okay, cool. That's really funny about Amorim, by the way. Rashford said a new challenge. He says, yeah, he's right. There's a new challenge here. I think we have a new challenge, and it's a tough one, and it's the biggest challenge in football because we are in a difficult situation. That's a difficult new challenge. I hope all my players are ready for the challenge. Have I spoken to Marcus Rashford? No, not yet. It was yesterday. I gave them a day off. Absolutely hilarious, isn't it? Absolutely hilarious. I actually love Amorim. I'm not gonna lie. So far, you can't really work him out. So you want him to be there, but you don't want him to be there. Okay, cool. When pressed on England international future, Amorim said the follows: I just want to win and to help the team be better. So we are better with Marcus Rashford, and that's simple. We try to do different things. We'll put Rashford at the best position or level. That's how we've shown in the past. So he thinks Man United is better with Marcus Rashford, which I definitely agree with. Even though I'm a hater, I definitely agree with that. But then he doesn't. But then he thinks the toe is way more important than what it probably is. You know, I don't know. It seems like a weird thing. It seems like a weird thing overall, but I get it, and probably doesn't make a lot of sense when you pull it back like that. But big up Amorim. It continues here. The kind of club, this kind of club, needs big talent, and he's a big talent. So you just have to need him to perform at the highest level, and that he is my focus. I just want to help Marcus. I don't know what's going on here, man. I'm so utterly confused. So when it comes to Marcus Rashford, right, I personally think he should have left last season. If not the season before. But I also think he seems like a bit of a pussy in that he's probably not brave enough to put in a transfer request. He's not brave enough to maybe, throw a strop publicly and leave, or just ask for a move. He's not brave enough. But I think he needs it because I'm not too sold on the idea that he's fallen out of love with football. I don't think that's the case. I think he's fallen out of love playing for Man United. I think he came, he kind of replaced Pogba and Rooney in like the marquee player role. He probably had a lot of stuff promised to him behind the scenes about how Man United were going to try and rebuild and get back the former glories, all this sort of nonsense. So he was probably given a lot of false promises by the people that did, the people that flipping, whatever. For sure. He definitely was given a lot of false promises by, the Glazers, definitely gave him a lot of false promises and probably made him believe like things are going to change, but it never did change. So that probably dissuaded him from a lot of things. And him being a proper Man United fan, he's probably more than aware of the Glazer thing. Do you know what I mean? So for them to still be there with $1.5 million debt is absolutely insane. Legitimately, one of the most insane things I've seen in my entire life. But what could you do? What can you do? Moving on from that one, we also have this post courtesy of MUFC MB. This is after the match or before the Tottenham game. So Ruben Amorim says he wants Man United are better with Rashford. He wants to help him reach his level. All the players are important to me. Blah blah blah. Then ahead of the game, he says as follows: Ruben Amorim asks why Marcus Rashford is not in the squad against Tottenham. He says, selection. I choose the players that look ready to cope with the demands of playing a strong game. So before you said you need him, he can't go. Without him, the team ain't going to be successful. The team needs players like Rashford. And then now, nah. God almighty, man. I love this kid. It's amazing. And then we can continue on. We've got another post here featuring Ian Wright's comments regarding Rashford, which everybody's been kind of going crazy over. So Ian Wright decided to post the following: I got to Arsenal at 28, but you expect me to write off someone of the ability of Marcus Rashford at 27? So many of you are desperate to see these young players fail that you have to say you were right. You will take 1% of career Marcus Rashford. No, but that's the thing though. No one, I don't think a lot of people want him to fail. Maybe there's some conservatives, some Tories, some Daily Mail readers that maybe want him to fail. But I don't think anybody wants him to fail. Honestly. I don't think anybody wants Rashford to fail. Everyone could just see that he's playing beneath his level. They can clearly see that he doesn't have the same enthusiasm, the same passion for the game. And that comes from little things, from lack of closing. There's a clip going viral now on social media of Rashford not jumping for the ball during a derby. I think this might have been the FA Cup game against Man City. He doesn't jump for the ball. Those things are quite concerning. If it was me, I'd be quite concerned if I was in the position of power at United, that one of your star players doesn't jump for balls, does a lot of shadow pressing. When everyone's sprinting to press, he jogs. You know, like he just looks a little bit apathetic, right? He just looks a little bit like he's over it. And I don't think he's over football. I think he's just over playing for United, because playing for United is fucking blood sucking, man. People really underestimate how difficult it is to play for a club like United that's in such disarray. A club like United that's owned by the bankers who are fucking pieces of shit. The Glazers are still at the club. They're still extracting loads of funds out of the club. They've done nothing but harm to the club. They sold us a fucking, a myth when they said they were going to sell the club and we're going to get new owners. They end up putting the club on sale. They flirted with the fucking Qataris, who they probably should have saw it to, so that we could get new owners and completely do away with them and start afresh and probably rebuild this club properly. They then decided to go for the minority owners, who then would only take minority ownership and still let them be in majority control so that they can still take dividends from the club. They are a fucking parasite on us. And the sooner they all fucking go away, the better. And I mean go away like permanently, like fatally, the better, honestly. I fucking hate the Glazers. So I can only understand, and if they affect me like this as a fan on the outside looking in, I don't have all the information. Imagine what it must be like for a fan of the club who also happens to play for the club, who sees everything, knows everything that's going on behind the scenes. So I'm not surprised his spirit has kind of been broken and he looks kind of over it. But as a football fan of my club, I shouldn't really care about that sort of stuff. I should just talk about the football and say, the guy is playing like shit. The guy's playing like pure dog shit and he needs to leave for the betterment of us and his own career. That's what needs to happen. But again, what do I know when it comes to this sort of stuff? Big up the stream chatters as well. I see you in the stream chat. Big up, big up, big up. Big up Wingers, I see you. Big up Ayume Love. Big up, big up. Big up Luke Gallup. Carlo, what's going on? Salute. Yes, what's good? I'm super big exotic. What's good, Charles Lucas? What's good, Daniel Clements? Big up, big up. Yeah, what's good, Fashion Roadman? What's good, what's good? I hope Rashford is honest with himself, and it's the only way he improves. He's so inconsistent. I think that's one thing people in general that are in the limelight always lack, though, self-awareness. I think it's even worse in football players. I think every celebrity, regardless of what their field is, that's one of the things they all lack, and one of the things they probably all need to have in order to get to the next level. They all, I think, collectively lack self-awareness or accountability. I don't think he would ever sit there and admit that he's been bad or whatever. He'll probably blame other people, So that's the issue I have as well of him as a player. He's not really going to probably admit that he's been playing badly, and he only has himself to blame for the position that he's in at the moment. Because he got the new manager bounce. Amorim came in. I think he put a post up on his Instagram story about, oh my God, great session, great first session, like beaming. And you maybe thought, okay, shit, Amorim's going to come in and fucking reinvigorate Rashford's career, reinvigorate Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, all these players that are fucking flat out to deceive Anthony, but he'd never. He got the new manager bounce, and then I think Amorim got very frustrated with Rashford because he did what every other manager does with Rashford. He just has a end point. He has a fucking threshold. He has only so much he can take. Every manager does the same thing with Rashford. Every manager sees Rashford, sees his raw ability, sees his assets and attributes, and thinks, oh my God, this guy up front will be crazy. You play him up front, he can't play up front. He can't hold the ball, he can't run the channels, he's fucking dog shit up front. Then people think, okay, let's play him on the wings. With that pace, with that physicality, right, with that skill, with that acceleration, you put him on the wings, nothing happens. You put him on the left so he can cut in and shoot. Nothing happens. So inconsistent all over the place. So I think Amorim realized sooner rather than later with other people that the guy's just shit, you know, at the moment. Sorry, he's just shit. That's why I said at the beginning, I was saying prior that I think he's even at the same level of like a Raheem Sterling. People don't agree because maybe he's been playing for United and he's maybe more of the main man and maybe he scores more goals, but he's of that kind of level. He's of like a Raheem Sterling level where, you know, it's not that he's kind of done by 28. You also have to imagine, even though Ian Wright says he got to Arsenal at 28, Rashford's been playing professional football since he was like, what, 17, 18? It's almost like the Rooney thing. His burnout is going to be way sooner than other people's burnout because he's been playing full contact senior men's football since he's like 17. I think he got his league debut under Louis van Gaal, innit? I think he might have been 18, he got his league debut under Louis van Gaal. And since then, he's been a permanent fixture in that United squad. So he's been burned out very, very quickly. More so than others because of the level, because as well, United was shit. So we relied on him probably more than we probably should have. And he just hasn't probably got more in the tank. But again, I don't give a fuck. Just go somewhere else to go do that. Anyway, Jadon Sancho also replied and said 100% preached to Ian Wright's comment, obviously kind of echoing that that he believes or agrees with Ian Wright's thoughts about not writing people off. And Jadon Sancho's not a good one to say this to because I think he was also done dirty by United and probably needed a change to kind of show his level. And now he's at Chelsea, he's obviously balling out. I think, you know, ever since he come back from the injury, he's looked really sharp, really good, really hungry. And clearly he kind of needs that arm around the shoulder, needs to feel like he was kind of important and he's kind of doing what needs to be done. But I think he would have been in the same position if he would have stayed at United. He probably would have burned out the same way that Rashford burned out. So it's probably for the best that he left. But Rashford just needs to be brave and go. Go somewhere, challenge yourself. But I think he's one of those English players that probably is afraid of leaving the country. He probably doesn't want to leave the country, doesn't want to have to learn a new language. And he's not up for that. He's not that guy. I mean, he's not that guy in the slightest. So if you can move to a Premier League club, if you can go to fucking Leicester or something, right? Or Aston Villa, he'll definitely go. 100% he'll definitely go. But let's just see if he's able to up the levels and get where he needs to go. So let's see how it plays out for him. Let's see how it plays out for him. And then another post here to end it here, the end one, it says, Ruben Amorim on Marcus Rashford's interview. Amorim says, if it was me, I probably would speak to the manager, but guys, let's focus on Tottenham. Again, I don't understand Ruben Amorim's angle here. He seems like he's kind of putting his arm around the shoulder of Rashford. Then he's also kind of saying things that make you think that he's over him. I'm not too sure what's going on, but you know, it kind of is what it is. Rashford will have to deal with that behind the scenes. And then we also have this post courtesy of this user called United Defiance. He says, Rashford, drinking and personal life issues, like an 18-year-old, not fitting Amorim's system, scored 3 goals for him, but raises more questions than answers. Grealish, nobody knows when he last scored for Pep's system at fault. Pep needs to unshackle him. It's the game of football that's at fault for killing a good guy like Grealish. No drinking problems mentioned, even if it's obvious for all to see. Everyone is just rooting for the swashbuckler, the risk taker, above all the maverick who had breed panic and uncertainty running at defenders that would instinctively want to take a step back whenever a pretty boy with a giant thighs and gorgeous hair picked up possession. Exactly. That's actually a really good point. The difference in kind of response, the difference in coverage in the media when it comes to Rashford and Grealish. Grealish hasn't scored a goal in donkey years. He's not that important to Man City. He comes in as a sub for the most part. He's definitely a shadow of his former self that he was at Aston Villa, which is probably partly due to him and the system. And he's also known to be a fucking party boy. Like, he gets on it. He gets on it. He's got many pictures of him absolutely sloshed, having to be lifted up and carried by his friends and teammates. Like, he doesn't play. So it's funny that the media is quick to talk about Rashford going to a basket. Like, I might be in a minority here. But I don't give a fuck what my players do away from the pitch. I don't give a fuck what my players that play for my beloved team do away from the training ground or away from the football stadium. I don't care. They could be doing heroin, coke, balloons every day, drinking every day, running after girls every day. I don't care. As long as you play well in training and you're able to translate that training performance into games or whatever, I'm good. And even training, I don't even see. Just perform well when I see you playing the matches. That's the real reality of it. Perform well when I see you put on the jersey and represent the club, playing for the club. That's it. I don't care. So it's not even like we're using a Grealish thing of like, oh my God, Grealish is bad, leave Rashford alone. No, it's just the hypocrisy. It's just the fucking double standards of calling out Rashford's lifestyle, which isn't even that bad. It's like he lives like a normal young black kid that's got money. He goes to basketball games. I think he even went there by himself. He was on the fucking, what do you call it? He was sitting courtside. It looked like by himself. He might be with his girl, but it didn't look like he was with a big fucking, group of people. He was wearing those chains he likes to wear. I think they look pretty ugly on him, but he likes to wear those chains. He loves to look that way. That's what he's into. Let him rock. He had his little fucking, beanie on, his chains and shit. Let him enjoy it. I don't care. Let Grealish enjoy. I don't care. Let Grealish go to fucking, what do you call it? Wayne Lineker's brother's fucking club. Is it Aisha, whatever, in fucking Ibiza? Let him enjoy it. I don't care. Do they play well for their team and country? Yes or yes, then I'm cool with it. So this whole like lifestyle thing is just a misnomer. I don't give a fuck what he does with his lifestyle. I don't care how he lets his hair down. I don't even care if he's drinking when he's depressed. I really could give a fuck. Just play well for the club. That's all I ask. Just play well for the club. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yo, big up Charles Lucas. At least Sterling had a career. Yeah, fair enough. I guess so, but Sterling's also kind of topped out. You know what I mean? He's not the player he once was. It's kind of sad to see how he's where he is. But again, you have to remember, Raheem Sterling was a professional footballer playing men's football since he was probably, 16? You know what I mean? So it makes sense why he's burning out now. It's no surprise. And also Sterling probably should have done what I said about Rashford. He probably should have left for a new club before Man City got rid of him. He shouldn't have stayed at Man City as long as he did. He should have probably went somewhere else and, maybe went to another country to try to reinvent himself, learn a new way of playing, that would have been beneficial. But he didn't, so it is what it is. Rashford's going to have to deal with the same thing too. So it is what it is. Moving on. Big up Airmail. Big up Airmail, one of my favorite publications to check out. Well, actually, one of the only publications that I actually have a subscription to. I don't subscribe to a lot of things. Most of the things I just fucking use paywall back bypasses, paywall hacks to kind of read their articles. But I actually do subscribe to Airmail with my own hard-earned cash. So big up Airmail. Airmail do have their inaugural over and under list, which I always love to go through and talk about, and it's a perfect topic for this lovely podcast. So big up Jeannie Malley or Jeannie Morley or Jeannie Mao, however you pronounce your name. Apologies there. Big up Jeannie Moore for this article. It says as follows: overhyped. These are the overhyped things. Number one, personal truths. Don't know what that means, but yes, I'll agree. Gay men. I have to kind of agree. I'm not going to lie. I kind of have to agree. Only because I exist and I participate within the techno scene, club culture, nightlife and shit. And this idea that gay men are the kind of, they should be the go-to people for all things concerning nightlife. And they are the only ones that know anything. And everybody else, whatever you're doing can never match up to what a gay guy can do, or what gay people can do, or what queer people can do, is annoying. We're all on the same level. We all take in some of the same inspirations. We all go to the same sort of clubs. We all play music the same sort of way, especially behind a turntable. There's only so much you can do with 2 different sets of decks or 4 decks. There's not much more you can do outside of what we already do. So this idea that gay men are the bastions of culture and they're the spearheading force of everything that goes on in the scene is fucking annoying. It really is. And also putting them on like a pedestal as some sort of protected class, as if they could do no wrong, is also annoying. Because anybody that's been to Berghain, anyone that's been to Berghain and had one of those big, burly gay men in Berghain move you, barge you, and make you fucking do a 360, have you spinning like you're fucking Michael Jackson, will know Wagwan. Anybody that's been in the toilets queuing up to take their multivitamins and had a gay man just fucking knock you to the side, jump in front of you and just close the door, like as someone else is coming in, go into the toilet, you're waiting to go into it, close the door and not even acknowledge your presence, or if they do, look you up and down like you're some piece of shit, you will know that gay men are not to be protected or like unhallowed, a class that should be kind of put on a pedestal. They are just as mean as the straights. Gay men are just as mean, if not more mean, than the straights. Especially if you watch fucking RuPaul's Drag Race, you would see how mean they fucking get. If you watch fucking Bad Boys Club, watch Bad Boy Clubs on Zeus, bruv. Watch Bad Boy Clubs on Zeus if you want to see how mean gay men can get. And if you want to see how fucking good those motherfuckers can fight. So let's relax a little bit, because those motherfuckers are just as mean as everybody else. You go Berghain and those people, god damn it, man. The gays in Berghain, god damn it, they will bum you out. They'll barge around you. They'll take up all the space around you. They'll make the space around you their space, and then they'll act like you're kind of intruding and you're being weird. They'll cut in front of you in the queue. They'll fucking roll their eyes at you. They'll say girl, girl, girl all the time. They'll dress you down. They'll say some cunty thing to you that'll make you feel super self-conscious and insecure, so much so that you're on the U-Bahn, kneeled over with your head in between your fucking legs, rocking back and forth because somebody said "ah" to you in a fucking dance. Yo, gay guys are not. Yo, anybody that's been in clubs knows what I'm going with the gay guys, man. They are fucking meanos. Mean-os. Anyway, another overhyped thing. Raw milk. This is a white people thing, to be fair. This is only the Mundeles. Only the Mundeles are going to be drinking raw milk. Only Mundeles. I don't think you can find a single black person, brown person, or yellow person who drinks raw milk. Like, legitimately. It's like people that walk outside the street in a metropolitan city barefoot. Oh, because I'm grounding. Bro, you're grounding in London. You're grounding in New York. You're trying to ground in San Francisco. You're trying to ground in these cities where there's glass and piss and shit all over the place. Are you serious? So this is only a Mundele thing. This is a white people thing. So I'll allow that. Menendez brothers. I'm not really over it. If they are innocent, I'm not over it, and I do have sympathy for them, especially if what that guy said about them isn't true, or the guy that made a documentary. The guy that made a documentary tried to make it seem as if, again, I didn't watch the documentary movie thing, but allegedly in the documentary, the director tried to make it seem like the Menendez brothers were in an incestual relationship, and that their parents discovered it, and then the brothers killed their parents to conceal the truth. That's what they're saying. Maybe, but when in actuality, they could just be really close. I'm not sure if they're twins or not, but they could just be really close. But the director added that bit into the story, which obviously there's no truth to it and no evidence for it. But I guess he just felt that because they were good looking and there were two guys that maybe they were incestuous or whatever. So I think that side of things is a bit unnecessary and muddy the waters. And, you know, that family's already going through whatever they're going through, and it's probably a traumatic experience. Then to have some directors say, oh yeah, shit, the two guys were gay, is unnecessary. You know, it's really unnecessary. Really, really unnecessary. So if they're innocent, I don't think they're overhyped. I think everything that's been done now to get them out is good because they didn't kill their parents. And if they're not, you know, fucking each other, it's also a good thing too, because they get to kind of, you know, set the record straight when they do come out. Continue on. Disposable vapes. Now, I don't vape, right? I don't really care for it. I'm more of a, as what's her face would say, as Kylie Jenner's mum would say, or as Kylie Jenner's dad would say, I'm a traditional type of girl, right? I'm a traditional type of girl. So when it comes to fucking smoking, if I was to smoke, I want to smoke cigarettes. Big up my girl Olga. But I know there's people in Asia who have this particular type of cigarette that's really thin. Because we don't really have ones. Because I remember back in the day, I used to smoke like, what are they called? Menthol cigarettes to be cool in the club. I go in the smoking area because that'll be my platform to kind of dance and, you know, schmooch and try and rizz up some things and maybe just try and take some, you know, multivitamins out there while I got the chance, get a breath of fresh air, you know, air out my t-shirt, all that good shit. I'd love to kind of take, you know, in the club with me a pack of menthol cigarettes. Even though I don't smoke, even though I have sports-related asthma, and even though I have like my nasal issues with my nasal polyp surgery that I had, where my nose can sometimes get stuffed really easily, and, you know, I've got allergies and shit, it's not the best idea for me to smoke. It's not a good idea. But I still do it because, you know, I'm a fucking rebel. So I'd go do this shit, and I usually would prefer to do it with menthol cigarettes. Menthol cigarettes now I think are really expensive, and I don't really do them anymore. But I do remember one time meeting somebody and some, could be like, oh gosh, you mentioned it as well to me. In Asia, they have these really thin, light cigarettes. I forgot the brand of what they are, but they sell them all across Asia. I think I might have seen it in Bali when I was there, actually. And those cigarettes are amazing. So if they sold those type of cigarettes in the UK, the really thin, light ones that you could kind of smoke in a smoking area just to kind of, you know, pass the time, it wasn't so super intense like a regular cigarette, I would do it. So I think cigarettes over vapes any day of the week. I also don't mind disposable vapes over the fucking contraptions that are like those fucking things that look like iPhones. They look like fucking, no, they look like fucking hard drives, right? The vapes that people have, like, they've got the fucking tube and they've got the clear cylinder so you can see the water bubbling. It's like you're sucking on a fucking exhaust. Those things are fucking redacted. If you're gonna do those little cute vape ones, cool, the disposable ones, but the fucking ones that you can fill in, the ones that you see guys, especially, I don't know why, but in the UK, if you go to like an area where there's a lot of like offices, like you go to Liverpool Street, you go to Shoreditch and shit, you will see a lot of people in the smoking area, product designers, usually product people, right, and developers and shit. They love to vape. And developers and product designers and shit and project managers, whoever those type of people are, they love those vapes so you can kind of assemble them. So you see them in the outside of their building where they work, assembling this fucking vape and put it together, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe they've got THC in it, who fucking knows? But I think that's completely dumb. But I also don't like the cutesy, butesy, itsy bitsy, ergonomically fucking correct, you know, disposable vapes design. Why do they all look like that? Why do all disposable vapes look the same? They've all got that kind of like, you know, it almost looks like a pebble, you know, like a really round, like it's ergonomically designed to kind of fit into the palm of your hand. It's also, I feel like they purposely designed it in a way so you can cover it with your hand and suck it and no one can see. But bruh, everyone can see. I don't think I've ever seen somebody vape in secret that I haven't noticed. Everyone notices. We can see you putting your hand to your mouth. We can see you doing a little fucking inside fucking exhale. We can see it. You can't hide vaping. Do you know where you can hide vaping is maybe if you take the vape to the fucking veins. Maybe you put a vape on an IV drip. I'm sure somebody must have done that, right? You're vaping with an IV drip, maybe. Then you can just be blowing it out and no one can see you actually inhaling. But no one can hide the inhale. You can always see the inhale. No one holds their hand like that. The fucking the vape was designed is fucking redacted. So personally, I don't understand it. I think it makes no sense whatsoever. The whole fucking vaping thing. I've always fucking hated it personally. But I think if you're gonna vape, weird enough, if you're gonna vape, I feel like you should probably smoke cigarettes. Please. If you're gonna vape, just smoke a cigarette. Just smoke a fucking cigarette. Grow up and smoke a cigarette. Yes, I know they taste nice and the flavors and shit, but grow up and smoke a cigarette. You don't need a vape with a screen, right? You don't need a vape with a fucking screen. Just smoke a fucking cigarette. It really isn't that deep. Please, I beg of you. Just smoke a fucking cigarette. It isn't that deep. And the reason why I say it isn't that deep is because it seems like people that are addicted to vaping, are addicted to vaping in ways that no one could ever conceive. And look at this as an example. Look at this as an example. This way of vaping is so fucking insane to be at this level of addiction that, you know, you just have to pray. You just have to pray for this young lady. You just have to pray for this young lady. So this is courtesy of Twitter and the Instagram or the Twitter account Kira Won't Miss. And it features a Colombian lawmaker vaping during a health reform meeting. The health reform meeting is being live streamed, I'm assuming, or recorded somewhere. And this health minister in Colombia is vaping. She sees the camera, quickly tries to put it down, but it's like, Jesus Christ. That's how addicted people are. That's how addicted and addictive vaping is, that this young lady is risking her job to get that vaping. She's risking her blood clot job to get a little sucky suck, to get a little inhale, to get a little exhale going, to feel some of that sweet banana scented fucking air pass through her lungs and turn into fucking water. Absolutely insane that a Colombian lawmaker during a health reform meeting, not health meeting, a health reform meeting, is vaping. Absolutely wild. But again, am I surprised? No, because vaping seems to be super addictive. You see kids on TikTok with those videos where they show you like all the vapes that they've been using, and they're plenty, like whole trays and boxes and shit. It's mad. But then the weird thing is, if somebody like me was to show people my trays of all my used up fucking baggies for my multivitamins, suddenly people look at you like a crackhead. Oh my God, that's so bad. So it's okay for somebody to show you a whole tray, a whole box, a whole Nike box full of fucking used vapes that are now empty. But if somebody shows you a bag full of little baggies that they may have had multivitamins in, you look at them like they're a fucking loser. You start judging them. You start pointing fingers. Like, come on, man, that ain't fair. That ain't fair. Huh? If we're all crackers, let us all be crackers together. This is a form of crack too. This is just a vapor crack. Right? This is like vapor crack, right? This is what this is. Scented vapor crack. But it's the same thing. The moment somebody realizes how to scent crack cocaine and make it smell like mangoes or something, and not like, what's crack cocaine when you have people smell it? It smells like someone's burning a pen or something. If somebody can figure out how to scent crack cocaine, maybe give it like a strawberry scent, mango scent, peach scent, strawberry scent, orange scent, ooh, lime, lemon. Imagine. Big up the Colombian lawmaker. Big up her. Continuing on. Wearing pimple patches in public. Yes. I'm glad somebody said this. I am glad. I'm so freaking glad that somebody said this. Hallelujah. I've been saying this for so long. I recently put up an Instagram story because I think I've noticed it in Berlin. Because actually, weirdly enough, when I was in Berlin, you know what was really strange when I was in Berlin? I saw way more like Gen Z kids in Berlin hanging out than I did like techno freaks and techno, TikTok techno fucking ninjas and shit. Honestly, I saw way more kids wearing Arc'teryx, wearing baggy blue jeans, wearing speed cats, wearing New Rock boots, wearing Go Faster glasses, wearing rain jackets, wearing fucking what are they called again? Wearing those carabiners on their jeans with the keys on it. Like, I saw a lot more kids under 27, let's say 27, rolling around the streets of Berlin, like the cool trendy ones that take like fit pics against walls. Before, I saw loads of like techno kids, people like stomping around, wiping their nose all the time, you know, drinking outside spatcuffs and stuff. But this time I saw a lot more trendy kids, like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. But then because I saw a lot more trendy kids, I saw a lot more trendy kids with the fucking stupid star things, right? What they call those star sticker spot things, right? What's that? Star sticker for spots or something, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? All these kids are wearing these fucking stupid things on their faces. Like, it looks good. It doesn't look good. I swear on my life it doesn't look good. You look so lame. You look so fucking lame with these little stars on your face to try and give you a bit of personality. Like, what the fuck is going on? And allegedly, this is done to protect spots. Allegedly, this is done for spots maintenance or spots health or spots care. And it's like, bro, what happened to just putting cream? What happened to just applying some cream? What happened to just applying some cream on your face? What happened to avoiding seed oils? What happened to avoiding vegetable oils? Right? What happened to drinking a lot of water? What happened to fucking cleaning up your diet? Maybe doing an elimination diet and figuring out what is fucking giving you the spots in the first place? What happened to just being a kid and letting the spots rock? By the way, this girl is doing stolen spots valor or spots stolen valor because I don't see any lumps underneath those stickers. I don't see any lumps under this cute girl stickers. I don't see them. I don't see any lumps. So she's doing a bit of spot stolen valor. But what happened to just letting your spots rock? Cleaning them. Making sure your face is nicely cleansed. Especially now where everybody's into fucking Korean healthcare or Korean fucking skincare. Why aren't people fucking clearly trying to fucking, you know, cleanse their face properly? Why aren't they trying to do that? And making sure that their diet's right. Getting loads of liquids in them. I don't understand this spot thing. I think it's lame. But again, I think it's just another thing to kind of give you personality. If the nose ring can't give you personality, if the dyeing your eyelashes can't give you personality, if shaving off your eyebrows can't give you personality, if the funky haircut can't give you personality, you have to do what's that. And it's like, sorry, I think it's the hate, the karma and the hate. Someone's kind of sending me bad vibes somewhere. But the funny thing is, I feel like these Gen Z kids are actually quite interesting. I think they're quite fearless in the way that they approach things. I like that they don't really believe in paying their dues. I like that they don't really believe or care a fuck about institutions or respect brands and individuals the way that maybe millennials like I did back in the day, where we'd be obsessed with, I'm obsessed with James Jebbia. I'm obsessed with Supreme. I'm obsessed with Hiroshi Fujiwara. I'm obsessed with fucking Nigo and, and Tep from fucking Double Taps and shit. But these kids, they all believe in their own hype. They believe they can be the fucking next fucking Mark Jacobs. They believe they can be the next fucking Alexander McQueen. They believe they're better than fucking Demna. I love that about these kids. So it's like they're actually way more interesting. They're actually way more interesting than I think my generation was. But yet they put too much attention and too much foresight and effort into how they look to show how interesting they are. It's like, no, forget looking interesting. Be an interesting person. Do interesting things. Put out interesting work instead of like doing all these stuff to your face and to your hair to make you look like you're someone interesting. No, actually, or even better, why not have the way you look match up to the work you're producing? How about that? Why don't you be congruent? Why can't you be congruent? Why can't you have your look be this way and then the work you produce be that way, so that when people are like, oh shit, that makes sense. That makes sense. As opposed to whatever else is going on. Oh, what do you do? I work in HR. Really? Looking like that? What's the point? I thought you was a contemporary artist. I thought you was a sculptor. Right? I thought you made fucking vases and shit. You are just working as a receptionist somewhere in a gym. That makes no sense. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Continue on to the hate list. Tasting menus. Yeah, again, this is a Mundele thing, a white thing. I don't believe in tasting menus. I go to places to go eat properly. If you have a set menu, I'm eating it. That's basically it. I also don't like restaurants that have like set menus where like you can't taste. That's not the same as a tasting menu. But where restaurants have like, oh, this is the courses that we're serving and this is it. You pick one or two. Nah, fuck off. I want to pick my stuff. Don't give me 1 and 2 and I have to go through the fucking different courses. No, I want to pick what I want to eat. So that or whatever. Aura rings. I don't know what an aura ring is. What the fuck is an aura ring? Is that what I think it is? Is that those kind of like crystally ones? What the fuck is an aura ring? What the fuck is an aura ring? Ah, these tech... Okay, cool, yeah. Super lame. Super duper lame. But to be fair, these tech rings, an aura ring is a... Is a Finnish technology... a company known as Aura Ring, a smart ring used to track sleep and physical activity. So it's basically the ring version of a Whoop, right? Wing version of a Whoop. Yeah. No, thank you. Not interested in the slightest. I don't really give a fuck about Whoop either. I don't need to track that much. Like, I want to track my physical activity. So give me like an Apple Watch. Give me like a Strava, a watch with maybe Strava capabilities or Garmin capabilities, and that's it. I don't need to track my sleep and shit. That's dorky. Super dorky, super lame. So I'm not into it at all in the slightest. But maybe. It depends, I guess. Any job that starts with creative. A part of me feels like these sort of things are unfair because it almost, and obviously the second one is creatives. So any job that starts with creative and creatives is overhyped. I feel like it's unfair because I feel like the people that say this are the ones who have like milked it. They've rinsed it. They've gotten as much juice as possible out of the freelancer, creative, I don't really do much. I consult brands, whatever vague job they have that pays them millions and they've been able to live a good life on. They've rinsed that. And now the economy has kind of shifted. Those kind of willy-nilly consulting, creative jobs aren't as plentiful as they once were. And now everyone has to get regular jobs or jobs that aren't as sexy. Now they're like, oh yeah, I'm over it. Nah, bro, you got to rinse it. We're not over it. We would still love those jobs. Like, I would still love to be a creative director. I'd still love to fucking consult with somebody. Why the fuck not? But, those things are farther away now because, you guys fucking rinsed it and got all the juice out of it. and people don't want to waste money on someone just giving them some consultation about their brand that they could easily probably Google or chat GPT if they needed. So I feel like these comes from a point of privilege. Oh, I got what I needed out of it. Now I'm over it. Nah. Don't give us the carcasses. Don't give us the carcasses. Nah. Let us eat when you fucking killed. Let us eat when you killed. If actually, let us go out on a kill with you. Let us go out on a kill you so we can pick what bit of the fucking ball we want to fucking extract and we fucking want to tear into. Don't fucking give us a carcass and then tell us, oh, I've had enough of this. I'm so over eating meat. I'm a vegan now. Oh, really? Oh, really? After you just ate that whole fucking ball by yourself, you right? God the hell. Anyway, continue. The West Village. I don't live in New York, so I can't say, but I'd imagine the West Village might be probably an example of us. What's West Village in the UK? Maybe Hackney Wick? No, that's not West Village, isn't it? What's West Village in the UK? What is the London equivalent to the West Village? Maybe Notting Hill? Notting Hill, maybe? Yeah, I said it as well. Wow, amazing. Okay, cool. So I should be over Notting Hill. To be fair, I never go to Notting Hill apart from if I'm going to go to Carnival and grind my fucking penis against some, barely legal girl somewhere. That's the only time I ever go to Notting Hill. Angel, I don't ever go and hang out in Angel unless I'm going to a restaurant or something. Clerkenwell, same thing. King's Cross, work or restaurant, don't really hang out there. Knightsbridge and Chelsea, not ever there. Probably get arrested if I walk down the street. Marleybone, don't really hang out there. Primrose Hill, don't hang out there. Shoreditch, I pass through when I'm riding my bike. On the way back from work, or if I'm visiting somebody, or if I'm going to eat somewhere, it's a nice place to hang out. I don't mind going to Shoreditch House. Actually, that's what I want to do at one point. That will be wealth to me as well, by the way. Forget the fucking Reggie Yates mansion, in London. I probably don't really have any time for that, to be fair. I probably would prefer to actually, when I get the money to buy a house like that, I'll probably would prefer to buy an apartment somewhere in Manchester or something. I'm not really bothered about the whole living in London thing. But, once I do attain a certain level of wealth, I would love to get myself a Shoreditch House membership. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoy going to Shoreditch House. More so because I feel like I would use all the facilities. I'd be in the pool, I'd be in the gym, I'd be in the sauna, I'd eat there. Like the times I went there to go eat was with work. Like I went once with Nike, I went once with Virgil, I went once with maybe Adidas as well back in the day. So I've been in like 3 or 4 times with brands. Now, don't get me wrong, those are like special kind of like privileged type of stuff because you're going with brands and they don't play. They put the fucking black card behind the till. You can order anything. But it also gave me a good impression of what it's like to go to Shoreditch House representing or on the behest, or as a guest of Nike. They kind of welcome you in for the door. They have somebody take you up in the lift. You get taken to a certain section of the restaurant that no one people goes to. You sit down. You have a fucking meal. Yo, you get served the best. They're really attentive. Like, it was banging. And it was also banging with Virgil because people kind of recognize him in there. So I would love to go to Shoreditch House, and it'll be a good place to go because I feel like nightlife wise, clubs aren't that great anymore. Pubs and bars aren't as great as they once were. So to go to a place like Shoreditch House where you can, be amongst the fellow quote unquote creative folks and shit and interesting people will be pretty cool. And you're guaranteed to have a decent night. Get a drink, right? Because I'd use it as like a pre-place. I'd go to Shoreditch House, I'd chill out, grab a drink, get myself an espresso martini, maybe some snacks, maybe a couple of green teas and shit, chill out, hang out, spit some game or, some fucking super rich MILFs and stuff, get them giggling and gaggling, make friends with the fucking bartenders and the waiters and the kitchen porter guys because they're usually super cool and they'll usually come maybe bring you in on certain things and maybe help you acquire some multivitamins, who fucking knows. If you're tired, you can go sleep there as well if you need be. But I would love to do that, and then when I want to go to Fold, I can jump in an Uber, jump on the fucking overground, and bang, I'm done. I'm ready to go there. Do you know what I mean? That's what I would do. So that's what I'd probably do if I did when I get to that place where I can afford a membership. Because I think at the moment, Shoreditch House memberships are like what? I think it's like $5,000. Is it $5,000 or $1,000 a month? How much is it? How much is a Shoreditch House membership? Let's see.
And obviously I'm not gonna do the under 27 thing. So do you have to remember? Yeah, you have to remember how much is it? The price. Okay, let me just go to the website. It'll just tell me the website, right? If I just go on the website, it'll tell me how much it is. But if I go on the website, it'll tell me how much it is. Yo, big up. Yeah, AJ Alexander in Brixton is hilarious. I've only been to Brixton a handful of times, and most of the time it's been for gigs to go to the Brixton Academy. You know, I don't really hang out in Brixton. I'm not gonna lie. One time I went to Brixton actually when I was in school to link some girl from Black Chat. If guys know, real ones know about Black Chat. I went to link some girl in Black Chat, so off Black Chat in Brixton, and I literally got chased out of there. So that's one of the last times I've actually enjoyed being there. But most of the time I just go for gigs. So that's about it. This is the streaming version of Berghain. Big up Izanella. I'll take that. The streaming version of Berghain, the #1 cultural commentary podcast in the world. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm actually even add that to my fucking description of my podcast. Big up Izanella. I appreciate you. And big up 20 Cent. Big up as well. Charles Lucas. Never been. My friend used to work at Chiltern Firehouse. Used to go there. Saw Madonna. Yeah, Chiltern Firehouse. I would go to eat, but I don't think I'm bothered about being a member there. That is a membership bar too, right? Or is it a private? Is it Chiltern Firehouse is also a membership bar, right? Chiltern Firehouse or Chiltern, right? It's a membership or just a restaurant? Is it? So it's a membership. So it's a private members club too. Okay. Children's Society starts at what? That's not true. No, it's open to the public. Reservations are recommended. The bar's usually open. So is it not private? No, sorry. So it's a place that celebrities go to. They just don't let you take pictures. Which is the exclusive club in London? Pavilion, Annabelle's, Shoreditch Arts Club. It's Chiltern Firehouse members only. Chiltern Firehouse is open to the public. It's not members only. You're just not allowed to take pictures in there. Okay, cool. Rewind it. Anyway, let's go back to Shoreditch House. How much is membership? Is that how cheap it is? So I could literally get one now. Set in East London's historic tea building, Shoreditch House is a home of creative community offering food and drinks and wellness and diverse social events. Now, to be fair as well, I know some people are over it. Some people probably listen to this probably thinking, "Oh my god, actually, it's so lame. This is so over it." But you also have to also like acknowledge or kind of be aware of. When I was coming up in the scene, this was like the pinnacle of where you wanted to get to. You wanted to have your own membership because we've all been there. Most people that have been in the scene have been guests of somebody that has got a membership, but it's a different thing when you're a member yourself and they say hi to you when you walk in and shit and you have your own card. Like, oh, it's a different experience. So I would love that. That would be a real sign of like, okay, cool, you fucking made it. Yeah, I mean, you've got a certain amount of money coming in that's just on auto pay that you can pay for it easily. Like, I'd fucking love it. And I think they've also got studios in there too, so I could even record podcasts in there if I needed to do so as well. But I really would love to go to it, and obviously it's not too far from where I am, so I could easily like cycle there and chill and hang out. So I'd fucking love it. Located on the 6th floor. The main club is spread across the 5th and 6th floor of the Teal building. Tea building. Inside is a gym, rooftop pool, panoramic views, and a cowshed spa, 2 restaurants, and daily program of events. We are accepting new applicants for membership at this house. Membership applications are reviewed quarterly by the committee. Membership starts from £160 a month. Really? Is that all it is? But I think you have to put a deposit down, right? Is it £160 only? No way. I thought it was way more than this. So you can get a membership that's with every house or your local house or a city without houses. So let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. I want to know how much it is just like, by yourself. So bear with me a second as I put in my details here because I would love to see how much this blood clot thing is. Let's see how much this blood clot thing is. Use strong password. Just give me one. Doesn't matter. Let's create my account. Oh, I already have an account. Okay, cool. Let me sign in. Okay, I didn't know I already had an account. I already have an account, allegedly. Let's send my login link on there. Check your inbox. Cool. Bear with me a second. I'll check my inbox here and see how much it costs to be a member of Shoreditch House. And just the one house. I don't need them to be all over the place. Although maybe going to the Berlin one will be quite nice, actually. Maybe I should check that. Maybe it might actually be beneficial to check the Berlin one because they do have a Berlin one. So maybe that might be a good thing to go check out. That actually might be a good idea. Okay, there it is. Soho House sign-in link. Because I remember, big up my guy Losbra. I think he went to the Berlin one and he had a bit of a blast. So maybe it might be nice to actually have a membership for Cross 2. Let's see here. So I got my details all over there. Let me continue. Bear with me a second as I get this to load. I just want to get to the screen where it shows me the price and I'll put the thing back on. Choose a membership. Let's see. Europe. So can I do different ones? So let me put this back on the screen so you can see what I'm seeing now. So it says choose a membership. I'm saying Europe. So what do they have here available? Let's see. Paris. Where's fucking where's Shoreditch? Where's London? Where is it? Soho House. Okay, I don't know. Where is it? Why is it? Why can't I see Shoreditch there? Or am I going blind? Okay, let's do London. Why is it not? Oh, UK. That's why UK. So UK. So let's do London. And can you do this and do both? You can, right? Oh, you can. So let's do that and let's do Berlin. Let's see what happens if I do London and Berlin. Where's the Berlin one? My eyes are fucking bad. I don't know. I can't see the Berlin one on there. Where is it? There you go. Berlin. Cool. Boom. All right. Confirm selection. So I did Berlin and London. Let's see how much. Or does it do both or does it can do one? Oh, it can only do one. Okay, cool. Let me do one then. It can't do both, unfortunately. Let me just do one. And then see. Continue. How much does this cost? Monthly. Oh, okay, cool. So what's every house? Every house membership. Every house membership gives you access to all Shoreditch House around the world. Only exception is Little Beach, Malibu. Okay, so the every house one is, what is it then? Every house introduction. What? Every house monthly. House introduction fee is £550. Local house. Let's do local house. Continue. I'm so confused here. What? Let's go back. What's going on here? I don't understand what the hell is going on here. So how much is it? Is it every house? How much is it? Local house. Okay. Local house is 150. Ah, okay. Sorry, my bad. I see what's happening now. So every house is 3,500 to have a membership at every house except the ones mentioned there, Malibu, and yeah, Malibu one. So monthly you're gonna pay. So you pay a deposit of 550 for this will be converted to members credit exclusive of tax, and then you also have to pay $245 per month for every location around the world. But if you do a local house, it's only what, £109. Yeah, I might have to jump on that, bro. I might have to jump on that, bro. £109. Are you serious? I could do that. I could do that with me eyes closed, mate. I could do that with me blood clot eyes closed. So yeah, big up fucking Shoreditch House. Continuing on. New members club. I disagree again. I think people who have enjoyed membership clubs, who have been privileged enough to have them and soaking them and basking them, they're going to be the ones who are going to be like, oh, I'm over it. But people like myself who haven't had the opportunity to be a member of a private club yet and use it to its fullest extent and actually enjoy it, we're still there, and I still want to go to one. So let's relax. I think there's one actually in Dalston that actually, no, I think in Shoreditch actually. It's actually around the corner from like so Shoreditch House. Is actually pretty decent too. I forgot the name of it. It's maybe under the bridge. Running clubs. I've been saying this for a minute that running clubs are fucking lame. People kept laughing at me and calling me a hater and calling me miserable. But I'm sorry. Running is a solo pursuit. If not, maybe with a friend. But running shouldn't be something that you pursue to be social. You actually run to get away from your problems. You run to clear your mind. You run to steady your mind. You run to meditate. You run to think. You're not trying to run to then run into a gaggle or a fucking gang or a fucking club or a cohort or a fucking whatever else of people. No, you run because you want to run yourself. Running in a group does make no sense, especially when you're starting to run. If you're just starting to run and you start running in a group, that makes no sense. You can barely breathe. You can hardly run a mile under 10 minutes. Why are you running with a group? Go and run by yourself for a bit. Go get your fucking, go get your cardiovascular fucking endurance up a little bit. Go get your fitness up and then maybe go to a group. But even then, no, groups are not necessary. Unless maybe you're trying to learn how to run a particular way and improve your form and shit. I think running should always be pursued. Always be pursued as a solo thing. Always. Because everything else that we do is in a group. We go on holidays in groups. We eat in groups. We fucking, drink in groups. We hang out in groups. You're always with your friends or your family. At least have one thing that you do by yourself. For goodness sake, bro. I see people these days as well. Absolute weirdos, right? Absolute fucking weirdos I see online or I see outside. I see fucking weirdos, fucking freaks who go outside. Hear this, right? Hear this. They go to work in the morning on their commute. And they're on FaceTime talking to their wives or girlfriends or their mothers or their parents and stuff. It's like, bro, you're on the way to work. Why is this the time they have to call your relatives or call your loved ones? Why can't you just focus on going to work? Focus on, preparing yourself for the workday, or just steady your mind, clear your mind, or wake up in general. Because they're on FaceTime talking to their, it's like, God damn, bro. You're probably going to do that again when you go home. You're probably going to see them later anyway. Like, God damn, man. Is nothing sacred? The commute now has to be social. The running has to be social. The workouts have to be social. That's why I left my CrossFit box. Although the price was exorbitant because I was paying like 150 pounds for 3 classes only per week. What I hated most about it was the group dynamic. Like the fucking fake motivation. Come on, you can do it. You've only got 10 more. Actually, it's 11. Actually, it's 12. All this fucking fake shit. Whatever. I hated that shit. I hate group fun. I hate adult fun. Collective forced adult fun. Fuck off. Work out by yourself. Run by yourself. Anxiety. I agree. It doesn't exist. It's not real. Moving on. The Bear. I haven't watched it, to be fair, but I think it looks good. I haven't watched it a single second, but I think it looks good. Long nails. I disagree. I think if they're talking about long nails as in acrylic nails, I quite like it because I think some of the girls nowadays look pretty ratty, especially the girls in my sort of scene. They look a little bit, a little bit bohemian, a little bit dirty, a little bit armpit hairish. So the nails are quite a good sign that they look after themselves and that they go and treat themselves to getting their nails done and shit. Especially acrylic nails because you have to get them done regularly. You can't leave them too long, blah, 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 blah. So I think seeing a girl that's quite up to date or is quite consistent with her maintenance of her nails is a good thing because it means although she looks like she sleeps in an ashtray, although she looks like she sleeps at Fold, although it looks like she sleeps in a bottle of GHB, the nails tell me that the look is one thing. She might be wearing an over-dyed distressed shirt. She might be wearing busted up shoes. She might have Air Force Ones that look like, they've been fucking on a tour in Afghanistan and shit, but the nails will tell me, oh yeah, this girl's clean. This girl looks after herself. This girl goes to the nail tech, she got the nail tech on speed dial, which also probably means she washes her hair and, washes it, shampoos it, conditions it. She probably puts a little bit of fucking aluminium laced, deodorant under her armpits. She doesn't believe in combing it or adding daffodils to it and shit. That's a good thing. So I think nails are a good thing. I'm not mad at it. Martinis, I don't mind also. I'm into the fucking cocktails and shit. I love a good espresso martini. I could love a good, just a regular martini with some fries and a burger. I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. That's quite chic. It's quite fun. No problem with that whatsoever. I feel like the people that are over it, again, are the privileged few who've got a lot of these martinis and these fucking chip and these fries with their martinis and these burgers with their martinis. They've got them off. They've written them off. There's fucking tax write-up because they're freelancers, or they've gotten gifted to them, or they've been paid out by some brand that's taking them out. So they're over it now because, they're over going to the fucking Children Firehouse, or I'm over going to Nobu's. Yeah, because you're a privileged fucker. You've enjoyed it for so long. Us normies, we've never been to Nobu. You know what I mean? Maybe we fucking, bought something pre-packed from fucking Nobu in the shop. Maybe we fucking bought a fucking piece of merch, but we never ate there. We'd love to eat there still. So it's still quite important to us. Michael Barbaro. I don't know who Michael Barbaro is, so I'll pass. Tradwives. I don't really care about that sort of stuff. Again, maybe it's an American thing. I think it's actually pretty decent to have that be a thing in America, a place where you guys are incredibly promiscuous and very vulgar in how you kind of hook up and shit. It's probably a good contrast, also have a community of people who are into that sort of stuff, like, you know, being monogamous, having a family, being a traditional wife, being a stay-at-home wife, all that sort of shit. So it brings a good little counterbalance, maybe. I don't know. Ethical non-monogamy, I don't know what that fucking means. I guess it just means open relationships, right? Open relationships and stuff. Maybe. I feel like maybe the trend of people thinking that they need an open relationship is a little bit annoying, or wanting threesomes all the time. Like, most people aren't that horny, and most people just don't know what they want. So here, I want to open my relationship up. It's like, look, figure out what you want. Either you want to be on the streets, or you want to be in a relationship. If you want to be on the streets, be on the streets. Be in a relationship, be in a relationship. But having both and mixing them is annoying, personally. I feel like you just need to decide either or don't, and just live your life. Whatever. Who knows? Who cares? Baccarat Rogue 54, don't know what that is. California Sober, I'm assuming is what people here do as well, where it's like, oh, I'm sober, but you're just sober from coke and fucking booze, but then you still smoke weed, and you might do a little bit of ket here and there because you're down and you heard that ket helps with depression. So yeah, that's out as well. That's out. Either you're fully sober or you're on it, but there's nothing in between. I don't want to hear it. All this, like, nah. And plus, you get more respect if you're fully sober in this world, because everybody knows how hard it is to be sober, because of the life we all live, the bills stacking up, the economy being the way it is, stresses with families, relationships, jobs, blah, blah, blah. We all know how hard life is. So if life is hard, sometimes an outlet to kind of make you feel something or make you feel nothing is drugs and booze. So when you don't do it, you get extra ratings, like super ratings. Like, you, like, especially for me, like, I'm gonna rate you forever. I'm fascinated. Like, fuck, how do you do it, bro? We're the same age. Oh, we're younger. You're younger than me, and you're sober. Wow, I'm fascinated. But you get 0 ratings if you're California sober. Nah, I don't respect you. Nah, I don't respect you. What is that? That's not sober then. Oh, I'm not on this, but I'm on this. It's like, bro, it's still the same thing. You're still taking drugs in. I'm even more saluting of the guys who like super sober, as far as prescription drugs. They're so sober, they believe in that whole thing of like not even taking aspirin and shit. Those people, wow, I'm salute you. They would never take aspirin. They don't take ibuprofen. They just look for alternative, natural kind of, you know, alternatives to kind of do those type of things. Like, super respect, but you get no respect for California sober. Like, fuck off. Barry Coegan, kinda, maybe, yeah, kinda. I thought his role in that movie that he played the guy who was like sucking up the fucking bathwater, I thought that role was a bit overhyped. I don't think he was even that good in it. I think there was much stronger performances in that movie than him. I forgot what the movie was as well, by the way. So I think in general, he's a bit of an overhyped actor. I'm not going to lie. Barry Coegan. But I don't mind him though, you know? I don't mind him as a person, but I think he is a bit of it. In Saltburn, I don't even think he was the strongest performer in there, and he got all the hype. I think one of the strongest performers in Saltburn was Rosamund Pike. I think Jacob Elordi was actually pretty decent. Oh yeah, I thought Ewan Mitchell, he was pretty good in it. Who was the rich sister? Who was the rich sister? Or no, the rich friend who they chucked out. I think it was this lady here, right? This one, Sadie Sovo, she was really good. Or maybe it's Millie Ken, I forgot who it was. But whoever the rich sister was in Saltburn was incredible. So I don't even think he was that good in that. So he gets a lot of hype for his roles, but he's not really the strongest sometimes in the cast that he's in, so whatever. Australian Shepherds, don't really give a shit about dogs like that, so I don't care. Tall person energy, I don't even know what that means personally. It's dumb, but this is also sounds like it's coming from somebody who isn't tall, so maybe they're just hating, which I understand too. Underhyped. Good manners. That's true. I think good manners is definitely underhyped because I think most people, maybe this is kind of like a Trump thing. Hear me out here. Back in the day, I remember when Rogan didn't like Trump, he said something very astute and very clever and very correct. I think he was saying a lot of people like Trump because it gives them an excuse to be dicks. And they see Trump be a dick at the highest level and be successful, it kind of empowers them and emboldens them. So I feel like a lot of people in general, forget Trump, let's just talk in generality. I think most people would love to live in a world where they could get away with just like bumping people, shoulder barging people without saying sorry, cutting people in the queue, taking something without asking. I think most people would love that. Smoking somewhere where you're not meant to smoke. Like, people just would love to just live life the way they want to live it without having to answer to nobody, you know, and just be a cunt about it. I think most people would prefer that. So not having good manners isn't that much of a big thing to people nowadays. especially in this fast-paced world. Everyone feels like I'm on the go. Why do I care about blah, blah. You know what I mean? People just have that kind of mindset. So I feel like nowadays manners are really kind of not even at the forefront of people's minds. But I do think meeting somebody who does have good manners and somebody that isn't a fucking dick can be so crazily refreshing. It can be so refreshing to meet somebody who generally, you can tell has been brought up well. You can tell has had a good education. You can tell has had a supportive family and friends around them and people to call them out on their bullshit. I love it. I fucking love it personally. I fucking love it. Next, gay women. Gay women. I'm going to say no. Because weirdly enough, I seem to get way more love, way more appreciation, way more kind of friendly vibes from gay women than gay men. Gay men tend to not like me, even though I really want to be their friends, especially when I go to like techno clubs and shit. I don't know, maybe I give too much overly hetero, cis, toxic male energy. I don't know. I remember once, big up my friend fucking Cat Barker, big up Cat Barker, the legend Cat Barker. Also, big up Cat Baker, big up Cat Baker, my friend Cat Baker. I don't know her fucking name, but big up Cat Baker. I remember once complaining about it to Cat Baker. I was like, "Fuck, man, I wish I had more gay guy friends." And Cat Baker said, like, "Have you checked your social media feed?" I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, good point." So I guess maybe my feed is a little bit too hetero. It's a little bit too cis, a little bit too heteronormative, right? A little bit too fucking toxic. Especially when I start talking about football, it might scare some of the gay guys away. But I usually do get decent communication and vibes and rapport with gay women. They tend to not mind me, which is pretty startling because I thought that, you know, across the board they wouldn't like me, but gay women don't mind me. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I agree with this. Gay women are underhyped. Yes. More power to the gay women. Yay, gay rights. And also big up that fucking restaurant, that bar in fucking Dalston. No, is it Dalston? Hackney, wherever it was. La Camonera. That fucking one that's founded by a gay couple, and it's mostly for gay women and shit. I love it. So big up them. The business lunch, underhyped. Not too sure about that. Is it underhyped, business lunches? Is a business lunch even a business lunch? Don't you spend most of the time just talking about nonsense? You don't really talk about work anyway. NyQuil instead of Xanax, right? What is the difference between What is the difference between NyQuil and Xanax? And because you both are they both over the counter or are they prescription? Let's see. Xanax is a prescription medication used to treat anxiety, panic disorders, and results in form of depression. NyQuil is a cold and flu. Oh, I thought NyQuil was for sleeping. Really? I thought NyQuil was for sleeping. Okay, maybe I got that wrong. Maybe I completely wrong. I honestly thought NyQuil was a sleeping thing. So NyQuil's a cold and flu medicine, basically. All right, cool. People mix NyQuil and Xanax. Wow. Mixing NyQuil and Xanax can be dangerous, have dangerous side effects, including dizziness, drowsiness, confusion, difficulty concentrating, impaired thinking, impaired judgment, and impaired motor coordination. That sounds like fun. You should limit or avoid your alcohol consumption. I don't know, man. That sounds like a good time. NyQuil and fucking Xanax and a bit of booze. Shit's about to get wild. Let's continue. Luigi Mangioni's eyebrow specialist is underhyped. I'm gonna be honest. As much as I want Luigi Mangione to be free, and I think the whole like parading him around, the parading of Luigi Mangione by the New York fucking, what do you call it? Let's see, the is it NYPD? NYPD tweets, is it? Yeah, this one. The parading of Luigi Mangione by the NYPD. What's his name? Mayor Eric Adams standing by him as he's getting fucking transported to a helicopter to another mode of transport. All that stuff was super excessive and unnecessary, and they were acting as if like they're the ones that actually arrested him, when in fact the truth is he was only caught because a very attentive person at McDonald's saw him eating and then alerted the McDonald's staff to go call the police. So the NYPD did nothing to fucking catch him, but they paraded him around as if like, you know, they did something. You know, it's fucking crazy, and if anything they're kind of making him look bigger than what he is. Even it's fucking ridiculous. I have a problem. The problem I have is this: Yeah, exactly. Real life Gotham shit. Exactly. Yeah, they're making him still look like a fucking Joker. I'm also kind of over him already. As much as I want him to be free, and I think the way they parade him around is fucking disgusting, and it's using it as a press opportunity, especially when somebody actually fucking died. But I'm kind of over it. I'm also kind of over it. As much as I want the guy free and stuff, and be fascinating to watch his coverage over in the time it's been happening, I'm also fucking over it, and I don't want to see no more memes. No more memes, no more anything. Please shut the fuck up about Luigi Mangione. So I don't think it's underhyped. I think it's overhyped. I'm already over it. Jewels are underhyped. Aren't those things banned? I don't know. Don't care. Vapes. Smoke a cigarette. Grammar is overhyped. It's underhyped, sorry. Yeah, I agree with that. Monogamy being underhyped is true. Monogamy being underhyped is the same thing as singleness being underhyped. I think there should be way more of that. I think the alternative stuff, I think most people need to realize that they're not as freaky as they think they are. So I think this idea that everyone's into fucking open relationships and going to sex parties, no. Most people just want to find somebody that they can spend their life with, whether they're going to get married or not get married, or they want to have options and be able to fucking suck whoever they can, you know, within a, you know, within some sort of fucking category or whatever it may be, right? Or within their taste. I think that's what most people are after. But I also think there's been a demonization of singleness, a demonization of guys, especially guys who just don't want to settle down. I think guys like that are being made to look at weirdos, maybe even women as well, maybe effects, but I'm talking about from a male perspective. I think it's kind of demonized. You look down upon. Like, you just can't, you know, have a girlfriend for like 10 years. People think, oh my God, you're taking a piss out of her, put a ring on it, you're not serious. Like, bro, I don't want to get married. I like her as a girlfriend, but I don't want to get married. Is that okay? Nah, that's not okay. Or the guy that's like, okay, just being a player and just being on the streets and just sucking and fucking. As long as he's honest, I've always said this, as long as this player person, as long as this Riz God, as long as this stickman is honest with the girls in question and doesn't sell them dreams, which we all have done. Let's be honest, all of us guys have sold girl dreams. We've all sold girl dreams. I don't think it's good though. I think it's kind of evil in the long term. Honestly, I do think it's kind of evil. So as long as you're clear about your intentions and about your hopes and dreams and what you want, and they're okay with it, cool. Go forth, my guy. Go through, my king. But I just hate the ones that sell dreams. But the idea that you have to force that guy, especially if it's a fuckboy, like, I don't know what these people want. Do you actually want a fuckboy as a boyfriend? Like, in a relationship, do you actually want that? I don't think you do. So if it's a fuckboy, I think you should be careful what you wish for. So don't hope that they want to settle down, because it might not end up going well for you. But then I also think if you decide to get in a relationship, you should be committed, you should be serious, and you should not cheat. You shouldn't cheat. You shouldn't be out here fucking liking random girls' pictures. You shouldn't be in the comments. You shouldn't be following crazy accounts and shit. You shouldn't be on that stuff. You should be living a life of somebody that has a girlfriend. Or you should at least act like you have a partner, you know? That kind of vibe. Because there's a lot of guys who have wives and mothers, you know, have wives with and they have children with these women and shit, but they act like you would never get it. You would never guess. And then when you see their kid and their wife, you're like super shocked, like, shit, you act like you're fucking out in these streets every day. So I think if you're gonna be single, be single. If you're in a relationship, be in a relationship. So I agree with that one. Walking in restaurants is underhyped. I agree. I'm fucking fed up of booking shit. I'm sorry. I spend a lot of my time queuing to go to nightclubs. I spend a lot of my time queuing for fucking you know, tickets, queuing for fucking burgers and pizzas and shit. No more. No more booking. No more. Let me walk in, please. If I'm hungry, let me walk in. And usually restaurants are in areas where there's other restaurants around. Or if I'm a smart adult individual, mature one that kind of plans things ahead of time, guess what I'll do? I might plan things ahead of time. I might put a contingency plan in place to make sure that if that restaurant is full, I've got other options on the list. But please, no more open table. No more Resi. Please. No more having... I saw one restaurant had a fucking Eventbrite. No more Eventbrites. No more having to buy tickets to... No. Show me your QR code. Fuck off. Do you have a table for two? Yes or no? Please. Full-time jobs. Agree. But only on the basis that all of these motherfuckers who are lucky enough to be freelance and have creative, cool jobs and consult and fly around the world for brands and do a lot of fucking remote working and make a lot of money and be location independent and shit. All these motherfuckers are now getting normal wartime jobs because that life of like luxury and gallivanting is not as plentiful as it once was. It's still plentiful, but not as it once was. I agree in that those type of people having a reality check. Like, hey, you have to make money the regular way, like we all have to make money, and then you have to siphon off that money or kind of split it and kind of put it to the side if you're gonna pursue your side hobby or your side hustle or your projects or your hobbies and shit in general. Cool. That I agree with in general. I love the waking up and the realization that the real world isn't as fancy, isn't as cool as the thing that these guys usually do. So that I'm okay with. Vaccines, underhyped. Vaccines, I don't care either way. If you want to get it, get it. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. But this idea that we're still going to be talking about vaccines in 2024, 2025, I rebuke it in the name of God. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. No more vaccine talk. Please leave me alone. I don't care. I don't care where you stand on COVID. I don't care what you think about the World Health Organization. I don't give a fuck. Please. This thing wasted already 2-3 years of my life. I'm not going to spend more of it pontificating about what if. Okay, what if, whatever. I don't care. They lied, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Get on with your life. Make it happen. Make it work now. I don't fucking care. Please. So, get it or don't. Continues. Upper East Side, underhyped. What's the equivalent of the Upper East Side to London? What is the equivalent of the Upper East Side? What's the London equivalent to the Upper East Side? What do they say here on Google? The Upper East Side equivalent is Knightsbridge, Kingston, and Belgravia. Really? Okay. I don't go to any of those locations, by the way. I've not been to any of those locations in time. Maybe Belgravia I've been to because there's a really good pub there. I think so. But yeah, I wouldn't know what to say. So I guess we'll have to pass on that one. Korean bathhouses. Again, I don't know. We don't have any in London, I don't think. We have Russian ones. I think there's actually a really popular bathhouse next to Fold, actually. When you're leaving Fold on the way to Canton Station, I think there's a really popular bathhouse there, actually. A hood one that looks pretty decent. Sabrina Tavasine, I don't know who that is. How the left suddenly thinks it's acceptable to use the word R again is underhyped. Oh, like retarded. I guess. Feminism is underhyped. I guess. The bus is underhyped. Yeah, probably. I'd say bus over trains, personally, if I can. I quite like seeing the outside world. Even though when it swings around the corners and shit, it's hard on the reading, but I prefer it. Air tags, I don't know, unless you're stalking somebody. Letterboxed, never used it in my entire life. I think, again, maybe it's a white thing. I don't know. I think it's like that's a website where you write film reviews, right? Yeah, don't really give a fuck. Olivia Nunzi and JFK Texas, I don't care. Vito, the first pug to win. Dogs, I don't care. Being into dogs like this is like being into astrology. It's so low energy, you know? You tell me how dumb you are if you're like overly into dogs and you're overly into astrology. Like, I think they go hand in hand. People that are super into astrology are also weirdly into dogs. And they give dogs like first and last names and shit. You know, they make their whole personality a dog. They have a dog Instagram. You know, all that sort of stuff. They talk. They talk in captions in third person about themselves. My mommy, my daddy. Like what? Like yeah. So people that are into that, weirdos anyway. So I'm alright. And first person energy. Again, I don't know what that means. But regardless, big up airmail. Big up blood clot airmail. Underhyped, overhyped. We love to see it. We love to see it. One thing we don't like to see is this. God almighty, have you guys seen what's happening in Germany? Have you guys seen what's happening in Germany? A car gets driven into a Magdeburg Christmas market. I love how they're saying a car as if the car could drive itself. It's hilarious. But at least one person has been killed, according to German police media reports. A spokesperson for the regional government has described the incident as an attack, which obviously it is, right? A car doesn't just drive itself into a crowd of people. But it's really sad because Christmas markets across Europe are the thing. Everyone's doing a Christmas market. Germany more so than other places, especially when I went to Berlin. I feel like I saw a version of a Christmas market on every fucking corner or every little, city thing, especially next to Alexanderplatz. It was everywhere. So that is fucking sad because tourists come from all over Europe, all over the world to experience the Christmas markets in these places like Germany. So for somebody to plan such an attack and to go through with it and eventually kill somebody is really sad and really distressing. So my thoughts and feelings go out to the people out there who are affected by it, man. It's so fucking bad. So this is actually the video of it that happened, courtesy of Marielle Naufal, on Twitter. Hopefully this doesn't get me in trouble by posting it. But you can see on the right hand side, you can see the car speeding through the crowd and careering into people. The video on the left shows the ambulance services helping people who have been on the floor and assisting them. But on the right hand side, you can see the car coming from the bottom and speeding right through. Absolutely wild. People running out the way, getting fucking scared, but it absolutely slammed into people. Unfortunately, there's no video that shows the actual speed the car was going in. I think the video that somebody's showing here from the CCTV footage is sped up, but I would love to see a video of the actual footage actually happening, because that might give us a better idea of how fast it was going. But it's really sad that one person died. One person unfortunately passed away, and I think a bunch of people were injured. Oh shit, one person. Okay, this person says, this Mario guy says at least 11 are dead. That news report said only one person died. I wonder how many people died then. 60 were injured after a vehicle crashes into a Christmas market in, what's that place called? Magdeburg, Germany. That's a place as well. The driver responsible for crashing the crowd. And they've identified the guy as well, by the way. The guy that they've identified was, I think he's Middle Eastern. And if I'm not mistaken, he's a doctor. The guy who actually did it is a doctor. That's a crazy thing. He's a doctor, and I guess his brain snapped one day, and he decided to do that. And he's also, if I'm not mistaken, a psychotherapist as well, or something along those kind of lines. So a very accomplished person who unfortunately did that. Oh, look at this. Okay, here it goes. There's five. So now they're saying 5 people have died. NYPD increased police presence at NYC holiday markets after the Germany attack. In response to the suspected terror attack at the Christmas market in Germany, the NYPD is boosting its security at the holiday markets across New York City. With at least 5 dead and 205 people injured in Magdeburg, the department is deploying extra officers to ensure public safety and maintain the festive security. Tourists and locals alike are reassured by the increased patrols, with some noting that they feel safer despite the horror of the event. The NYPD maintains there is no link between the German attack and NYC. This is another update regarding it. Saudi doctor behind the Germany Christmas market attack identified as an anti-Islam activist. Taleb A 50-year-old Saudi doctor, has been arrested for the deadly car. Oh, so he didn't die on impact. He got arrested actually. Okay. As a deadly car attack in the Christmas market that killed 5 people, injuring 205 people. Because you have to imagine, these Christmas markets are densely packed places. They're always usually oversubscribed, but people do a good job of kind of navigating around the Christmas market with a kind of, with some level of ease. So that's kind of good, but they're usually super packed. So it's quite nice to see that he got caught, because he could have easily disappeared in the crowd. But Jesus Christ, what a horrifying attack, man. A former refugee who fled Saudi Arabia in 2006, Taleb was a vocal anti-Islam activist and a critic of Germany's immigration policies. So he's a critic of Germany. So it sounds like he's a conservative, isn't it? It sounds like he's got more conservative points of view. He's anti-German immigration policies, even though he benefited from those German immigration policies. And he's also an anti-Islam activist, even though he comes from a country that's heavily Islamic. I'm so confused. He even posted pro-Israel, and he's a Zionist. So he's anti-immigration, anti-Islam, but he happens to be a Zionist. So I guess maybe in Saudi Arabia there is a population of people who are Jewish, then I'm assuming. Let's see. Religious breakdown of Saudi Arabia. What is it? According to AI, Saudi Arabia's religious breakdown is as follows. Sunni Muslim. 85 to 90% of Saudi Arabians are Sunni Muslim. They follow the interpretation of Islam that's sanctioned by the government. Shia Muslim. 10 to 12% are Shia Muslims. The majority of Shia Muslims in Saudi Arabia are 12ers who follow Muhammad ibn Hassan as the 12th Imam. They are also Sulaymayani, whatever that word is, who are known as Seveners. Other religions include Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. So there's not even a Jewish population in there, and he's a Zionist. They've got Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhs, and most people are Muslim. What a confusing fellow. Okay. He even posted pro-Israeli content, supported Germany's right-wing AfD party. Authorities are calling the attackers. So he went and drove in. So maybe the Christmas market he went to was a Christmas market that was populated by a lot of immigrants. Maybe it's a part of the, maybe that place. Where is it? Magdeburg, right? What's the place called? Magdeburg or Miedenberg? How you pronounce that place? So maybe that place in Germany has a big immigrant population. But he's an immigrant himself. Like, I'm so confused by this. So confused. Who's that? School visits Magdeburg. Germany's school and interior minister Nancy Faeser visited Magdeburg today after the tragic attack that killed 5 and left 250 people injured. While other officials called it a deliberate attack, the visit by Shaw seemed to fail to provide the reassurance needed by the grieving public. Of course, why is he just walking down looking sad? What's this about? Honestly, protest is so bizarre, innit? What's this meant to do? What's him visiting the Christmas market, surrounded by security, looking glum, gonna do? Bizarre. Okay. Magdeburg Christmas market attack. Death toll rises to 5. The attack resulted in 5 now dead, including a toddler. Oh my god. Oh my god. R.I.P. man. Oh my god. I can't imagine what the parents are going through. Oh my god. You go to a Christmas market with your little family and your toddler passes away because some crazy guy careened a car into you, including a toddler, and left 5 injured, many severely. Yeah, I'm assuming it's probably limbs as well. The attacker was arrested immediately. Oh my god, RIP to the toddler, man. Fucking IP. God almighty. The alleged Christmas market attack suspect account restored is suspended earlier by alleged violations on X's rule. So this is allegedly the person who did the attack. Taleb Al Abdul Homhasem. Is that his name? Abdul Mohasem. His bio says, Saudi military opposition. Germany chases female Saudi asylum seekers outside Germany to destroy their lives. Germany wants to Islamize Europe. What a confusing guy. Taleb has a bio that sounds like something Nick Fuentes would write. Or like, what's his name? Tommy Fury or whatever. What's his name? What's that guy's fucking name? That white dude from the UK. What a bizarre world we live in, where there's like immigrants who go to a country, immigrate to a country, assimilate, claim, that's it, Tommy Robinson, big up Fashion Roman, Tommy Robinson. They assimilate, they get citizenship, but then they are espousing the beliefs and the rhetoric of like racists and shit. Confirmed. Deadly Christmas market in Germany. The man accused of driving a car into the crowded Christmas market in Magdeburg, Germany, killing 2 people and injuring dozens, identified as Talib. Actually, I want to see, what's the racial breakdown of Magdeburg, Germany? What is it? I want to see that. What is the racial? Is it going to give me that? Racial breakdown, or is it ethnic? How do you say it? Is it ethnic? Maybe it's ethnic. Ethnic breakdown of Magdeburg, Germany. Because why did he plow those in there if there's all white? Like what? According to Uberstat, 13.4% of population of Magdeburg is foreign. 13%. Come on, brother, man. Come on, man. This is fucking stupid. Taleb A fled Saudi Arabia in 2006, gained refugee status in 2016, and lived in Bernburg in Germany, where he worked as a doctor and a psychotherapist. He was outspoken online, criticizing Germany's immigration policies, claiming the government was promoting immunization and supporting the conservative AfD party. Police say the attack is a suspected act of terror and are continuing to operate operations in Magdeburg. The attack occurred just 1 day after the anniversary of the 2016 Berlin Christmas market. Oh yeah, true. That killed 12 people. That's why the Berlin one, actually, when you go to Berlin, if you ever go now during Christmas, that's why you'll notice so many bollards. You'll notice like all the concrete blocks. I noticed it going through. I was like, oh, I didn't put two and two together. But you'll notice in the city centre, there's loads of concrete blocks and bollards next to fucking the Christmas markets to prevent anybody from driving into them and hurting anybody. Mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad. But look at this. Look at these headlines. Look at these headlines around the world. I guess this is because people are afraid of being Islamophobic, I'm assuming. But every major news outlet across the world that was, reporting on this tragedy, look at how they described it. 1 killed and several injured after car drives into Christmas market in Germany, The Guardian. Dozens feared injured after vehicle plows into crowd, NBC News. Car drives into crowd at Christmas market, ABC News. Car driven into crowd at Magdeburg Christmas market, DW News. BBC, car driven into market, New York Times. Driver rams Christmas market. It's like, bro, a car can't drive itself into people. Like, not calling things as they are doesn't mean you're Islamophobic. It doesn't mean that at all. I don't understand this kind of reluctance to just call it as you see it. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe they're concerned because they don't want to. They're not sure if the person is, the alleged person is actually the person that did it. Fair enough. Let's use some caution, but let's allow this car drives itself into people. Come on, bro. This is fucking stupid. Car drives itself. The car come on. But RIP all the victims. Honestly, that's the major thing. RIP to the victims. Force and feelings got to everybody else injured. Really, really, really is fucking sad. So far they're saying 5 people confirmed dead already. Past a toddler, God almighty. I can only imagine what the parents are going through. So force and feelings got to everyone injured, and fuck that guy, innit? Fuck that guy forever, man. Jesus Christ, what a horrible person. Absolutely heinous and unnecessary that is. Let's continue. Courtesy of Billboard. Spotify responds to Drake's UMG legal action, blasting false claims and demanding dismissal. So, the rapper claims Spotify helped UMG boost Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us by Spotify now says the action is subversion and the legal system and never should have been filed. So, obviously, most of you guys know Wagwan with Drake suing Kendrick's label for the Not Like Us track and how it was kind of bolstered and boosted. Obviously, even me myself as a big Drake fan, I can say maybe it's not the best look for him optics wise because it looks like he's kind of suing Drake for losing a battle, even though he's not suing Drake. But in terms of his career and in terms of setting the music industry right and for him to get his just desserts in terms of his monies and stuff, I'm all for it. And weirdly enough, this lawsuit, although it's going to hurt Drake's legacy and it's going to make him look like a bitch and it's going to make him look like he couldn't take the L gracefully, in the end, it will inevitably end up helping more artists than hurting them. Even if he ends up settling out of court, because it will change fundamentally how labels report certain things and what they do and what they think they can get away with. So eventually it'll put more money in artists' pockets, but he has to take the lashings. And I guess Spotify now has clapped back and said, you know what? You are lying. So let's read the article. Spotify is firing back at Drake's accusation that the streamer helped Universal Music Group artificially boost Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, claiming the allegations are false and blasting the rapper's legal action as a subversion of the normal judicial process. The new filing is the first response to a petition filed last month in which Drake accused UMG and Spotify of illegal schemes involving bots, payola, and other methods to pump up Lamar's song, a track that savagely attacked Drake's amid an ongoing feud between the two stars. In a motion filed on Friday, in Manhattan, the court, the streaming giant says it has found zero evidence to support the claims of a bot attack and flatly denies that it struck any deal with UMG. That's the thing though, they don't ever do direct deals. It's always done through somebody else. But it's just funny that they're saying that could not be the case when the whole platform, the whole appeal of Spotify is that they can make or break careers. If you have your track on certain playlists, if you have your tracks in a certain order on a playlist, a certain position, it can dramatically increase the potential of your track becoming successful and it changing your life, really and truly, and also elevating you as an artist and putting you in front of people's eyes that you probably would never put in front of. So the fact that you can't then use that nefariously is dumb because that's a legal thing that you can do on playlists. So to say that you can't use that in nefarious ways to kind of help yourself is also dumb. And we also all got ears. We know how much Not Like Us was getting shoved down our throats. And at some point, it did feel a little bit coordinated. It did feel a little bit intentional. It did feel a little bit payola-ish. It's the game, but calling it out isn't wrong. It's the game. Everyone does it, don't get me wrong. But calling it out and saying that they purposely did it to kind of fuck you over makes a lot of sense. I get it. The only thing that's annoying about it, in my point of view, is that I think Not Like Us is such a sick record. The beat itself, it just makes you want to fucking, you know what I mean? It's fucking hard, right? It's really a shame they didn't let it just be an organic hit. It goes to prove that across the board, everyone's buying views, everyone's using bots, which I probably should have used in the beginning too, because maybe that would have helped me in my streaming. I probably would have been a fucking millionaire by now if I fucking inflated my things and made it look a certain way. Everyone does it. Everyone does it across the board now. And I think in general, it makes sense that the bigger you are, the more you should use bots and things and buy fake views, because people already assume you're big anyway. People assume you're fucking, you're killing it. So if you buy views and you buy plays, no one's gonna suspect anything. People are less prone to suspect Post Malone is buying views, or fucking, what's her name, Sabrina Carpenter, right, or Travis Scott, than they are some minor person or like a small person, an up and coming artist. You're gonna be looked at a little bit more. You're gonna be looked at with a bit more scrutiny. That's the only concerning thing about it, is that now even our elite artists can't just put out songs. In order to get a song to really pop, you have to kind of buy views and shit. That's the only disappointing thing. Continuing on, the predicate of petitioners' entire request for discovery from Spotify is false, the company's lawyer says. Spotify and UMG have never had any arrangement. Beyond denying the allegation, the filing repeatedly criticizes Drake for going to court in the first place, calling his claims a conspiracy and far-fetched. Come on, man, a conspiracy? Really? Come on, people. Speculative and questioning why Spotify, a stranger to the long running of feud between Drake, is even involved. Why am I even involved? But also criticized Drake for the way in which he brought the claims to court, not as a fully fledged lawsuit, but as an unusual pre-action petition aimed at demanding information. The company accused Drake of using that extraordinary procedure because allegations are too flimsy to pass muster in an actual lawsuit and would have to be quickly dismissed. Nah. He's dotting his I's, he's crossing his T's. If it's not true, provide the evidence. Provide the evidence, clear your name, and then keep it moving. They don't want to provide the evidence because they know it's, because again, like, I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with playlists being used the way they are, but to say that it's conspiratorial to think that you can also use playlists to kind of inflate one song's performance is fucking insane. It's an insult to everyone's intelligence. Like, come on, bro. Come on now. It's big business. We know it is. It continues. What petitioner is seeking to do here is to bypass the normal pleading requirements and obtain by way of pre-action discovery that which would be only entitled to seek where it survive a motion to dismiss. This subversion of the normal judicial process should be rejected. You know what's really funny too? If you really think about it, this lawsuit, although it's going to help everybody, or this like petition, it's mainly just to line Drake's pockets. He wants to fucking know for sure what the deal is, so that he can negotiate better terms for himself with these labels. That's what he wants to know. He wants to know what dirty game they're playing, what's going on, so that he has more information and more whatever under his belt, so he can be in a better position or stronger position to negotiate when it comes to renegotiating his deal. That's basically what it is. And it sounds like they don't want to give him that information because they don't want to eventually have to pay him the money he would have to be paid. That would make sense. That's essentially what's going on here. That's what it feels like anyway. In a statement to Billboard later on Friday, Drake's team from the law firm Wilkie Farr and Gallagher said, it's not surprising that Spotify is trying to distance themselves from UMG. Allegedly manipulative practices to artificially inflate streaming numbers on behalf of one of the other artists. If Spotify and UMG have nothing to hide, then they should perfectly be fine to comply with this basic discovery request. Exactly. They don't want to though, do they? They don't fucking want to. Drake went to court last month accusing UMG of violating the Racketeering Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, the federal RICO statute often used against organized crime. He accused Spotify of participating in a scheme by charging reduced licensing fees in exchange for recommending songs to users. A day later, he filed a similar action in Texas, suggesting that UMG had legally defamed him by releasing the song, falsely accusing him of being a sex offender. The legal action represents a remarkable twist in the high-profile beef between the two stars, blah, 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 blah. So let's see how it plays out. But I think Drake will definitely win this one eventually, probably settle out of court and get a fat fucking bag. And I'm all for it. Next, let's talk about this video. I'm sure some of you guys know the video I'm talking about. It's a video courtesy of Drew Walls. I'm sure some of you know who Drew Walls is. If you don't, I'll give you a reminder. Drew Walls is a black guy from America who went viral because he was doing his everyday life vlog thing when that was really popular. He took recorded himself going to Target and doing like mundane things like buying cushions and whatever and cutlery and shit, and then coming back home and showering and making himself dinner, like a day in a life vlog thing. And usually they were always silent. He didn't say nothing to the camera. Usually really cut really quickly. And it also featured, you know, soundtrack from Drake for the most part. And it's kind of like, you know, the quintessential, what you would think of what a stereotypical Drake fan would be like, right? A little bit corny, a little bit lame, a little bit self-absorbed and shit, but definitely somebody that kind of, you know, takes care of themselves or whatever it may be. So at the time when it blew up, I remember everybody calling it cringe and calling it lame, but this Drew Walls guy actually posted on Twitter recently and said, a year ago today, this video on Twitter changed my life. So I'm assuming now he's most likely a full-time influencer, content creator guy, probably doesn't work anymore, kind of does his own content for himself. And I think he's even now sponsored by Target. They, you know, basically he did this for free and now Target sponsors him. He's also done stuff with NFL and all that other stuff in between. So it's good to see that being lame and doing stuff like this, right, can really help in the long term because it completely changed his life. But it made me think in general about this debate I was having the other day on Twitter about being lame and being corny, and being basically saying that how it's an essential part of being, it's essential part of becoming a professional influencer or content creator. You have to be lame. You have to be lame. There's no way you can escape trying to become an influencer and whatever else that is and just being like cool. It doesn't work. You have to be somewhat lame. You have to accept it and be a little bit cringe. You have to go to a Walmart, a Target, and put a camera on a tripod, you know, standing as you open the fridge and pull out some fucking frozen berries and shit. You have to get that tripod, put it outside, walk back in the store, walk out of the store slowly, you know, and not look at the camera. You have to prepare your food and put it looks like a dog bowl and eat by yourself at the kitchen counter, staring up into the distance. You have to do all this like really cringy and lame shit that most of us are going to be really embarrassed about doing. Like I know myself, just recording myself on the streets, selfie camera on my iPhone, speaking into my phone is embarrassing, and I feel really self-conscious. I can only imagine what it must be like vlogging with a tripod. Not even vlogging with like a handheld one, vlogging with an actual tripod that goes into the ground. Right? That must be so hard to do. But the rewards are plentiful. If you're willing to put your pride and your dignity to one side, the rewards of being cringe are freaking plentiful. They're freaking plentiful. They're so there. It's abundant because this guy's proof of it. He did one thing. Put himself out there. He was vulnerable. He had fucking Drake soundtracks playing underneath his fucking video, right? Be a bit cringe, whatever. People take the piss of him and Drake and his fans and shit. He didn't care. And look what it's done for him. It's completely changed his life. And it's only been 1 year, by the way. It feels like it's been far longer, but it's only been 1 year and his life has been completely changed by it. Let's go on his profile. Look, he's got a business. Look at that. He's got a business email with Lumar Marketing, whoever they are. He's got 43,000 followers on Twitter. He's still doing videos of himself, right? There we go. Here's another one he did too that blew up as well. I remember this one in the shower, innit? Yeah, this is the one in the shower. This is the one in the shower that blew up that people were laughing at him for. But this really helped him as well. You put some pain in me. The sound off on that. I think this might be the NBA one, right? Putting some fragrance on. He jumps into the lift. He parks his car at the shop. Walks into the Target again. Now buying some stuff, some drinks to see there. Maybe some eggs, right? Standard boy munch. Some fruits. Some stuff to clean with. He's now going through the tills. He leaves the camera there. He's in the shower. It's kind of cringe, but it works, man. It works, man. Big up the guy. Big up Drew Walls, man. Big up blood clot Drew Walls. You gotta fucking rate Drew Walls. And now, you know, everything's fucking blessed. He's got a new crib. Look at that. New crib. There's a new crib. New crib, new furniture. He's got a new fucking crib now. He's bought a new fucking crib. I'm assuming he's probably bought it. Or maybe he's renting it. Who cares? But he's still got a new one. He's getting some new furniture in. He's assembling it, pulling it out into the lift all by himself. Real man shit, by the way. No help needed. Love to see it. Got a new TV. Oh, look at the size of that TV. The TV is fucking lovely. I like how he tilts it forward too, by the way. The little tilt forward is a good idea. And what, he's setting up his couch. He's laughing at the live stream from Kai Cenat. He's got his couch. He's setting up his couch, right? I guess it's a foldable one too. You can pull out here when you want to ready to go Pound Town. You can ready to go. Administering or applying the feet on the bottom of the chair. Got a nice drill there, nicely aligned. White seat as well, so you know you don't spend too much time on that sofa. A nice white seat, a nice white couch, sorry, to chill out in and stuff. Yeah, nice. Gotta love that. More seating areas, or like the lounge area, I think at the front for your legs and shit. Nice. Decent, man. He's living life good. Living life good. Big up Drew fucking Walls. Big up Drew Blood Clot Walls. And a reminder for me to stop being embarrassed, stop being shy, start recording yourself, start dancing. Start dancing in front of the camera, right? Start doing TikTok dances and shit, because you too could be having a nice house. You too could be having a nice house and doing what Drew Walls is doing here. Like surprising my daughter. What's it? Surprising my daughter. Nice. It's not just him, by the way. He's surprising his daughter as well. So I guess it's signing a lease to his new house. Super happy. Buying some flowers for his daughter, I'm assuming. Love to see it. Are those balloons? Dad of the year shit. Real dad of the year shit, by the way, right? None of that Brendan Schaub shit. Real beast of a dad shit. Got some champagne there. What's this? He picked up his daughter, I guess, from school or maybe some practice somewhere. He puts a blindfold on his daughter, walks into the house, bang. Look at that. Nice. We love to see present dads. We love to see active and present dads. Big up Drew Walls. Big up Blood Clot Drew Walls. Big up Blood Clot Drew Walls. Got a little handshake down with his daughter as well. Gave her some roses. More confetti and shit. Celebrating a new house. You love to see it. You love to see it. This is your reminder, if you need it out there, to take content seriously. Don't be shy. Put yourself out there and record more of yourself. So big up Drew Walls. Big up Drew Walls. Let's continue. Next on the list, we got this courtesy about Hawk Tuah, man. Hawk Tuah Girl, man. Hawk Tuah Girl is in big trouble. So, as most of you guys know, as I reported the other day, she went missing, right? Somebody had noticed that Hawk Tuah Girl had gone missing for 2 weeks, ever since the rug pull. This is courtesy of Feared Buck. It says Hayley Welch, aka Hawk Tuah Girl, has now been gone for 2 weeks and hasn't dropped a single episode of Talk Tuah podcast since going to sleep after rug pulling millions of meme coin thing. And if you want to know what the going to sleep thing is about, when they announced the meme coin, they also did a Twitter space where they were addressing some of the controversy, and her and the team around the meme coin were trying to, convince people that it wasn't a scam and shit. And during the phone call, Coffeezilla jumped on there, the famous Coffeezilla, the YouTuber that kind of exposes all of these kind of financial scams and shit. And he basically called him out for it. And then Hawk Tuah Girl got a bit nervous and decided to run off and say, I'm going to sleep. So people are using, wow, are you still sleeping? Are you still sleeping thing? Because she hasn't updated anyone in 2 weeks. And obviously the Talk Tuah coin has dropped in value considerably. Obviously, like I said previously, two sides on this. I think on one side, if you're a grown adult who's taken your hard-earned money, your parents' money you found, and you've exchanged it for Talk Tuah coin, and you got scammed, you deserved it. If you've taken your last bit of savings as an adult, whatever money you have, and you exchange your hard-earned Great British pounds, your United States dollar, whatever else in between, and you exchanged it for fucking Talk Tuah coin, you deserve to get scammed. But on the other side of things, it's really disappointing that this Talk Tuah Girl, who got fame out of nothing, who was graced with the fortune and the luck to be famous off of a very vulgar sort of like comment on the, when she was doing a man in the street sort of interview, who's then able to transition it and use it to kind of propel herself and become legitimately somewhat famous, and also become a millionaire along the way, to start scamming your fans now whilst you're so new into the industry, or to scam at all, is really deplorable. It's really deplorable, because it's not like she's not making any money. The podcast still makes some money. She probably gets some money from Instagram ads. She probably gets some money from walkthroughs still and appearances. So it's not like she's fucking dead broke. So there's no excuse for trying to scam your fans like this. This is just pure and utter greed and selfishness. And probably, if anything, speaks to her character more than anything else. Because one thing I kind of did like about her was that she wasn't really trying to lean into the sex thing, even though that's what she kind of blew up from. She kind of just wanted people to know her as a person, even though, you know, she doesn't seem to be the most interesting person and comes across a bit boring and has a personality of a cardboard box. At least she didn't just go for the easy option of just like, yeah, I'm just going to get on there and start doing OnlyFans and shit. She started to go down the actual content route. So for someone to do that and then pull the okie doke, it's like, shit, man, why I want for this? But if you did buy it with full conscience, hoping to make some money, you're a fucking idiot. You deserve to get scammed. But she also deserves to lose everything because she took the piss out of this fortune, this gift, this opportunity she was given to be famous. She squandered it, and she's now going to pay the price because it seems like the people that did get scammed, they're suing. That's what it seems like. It smells like they're suing because this tweet that she put out recently, she says, I take this situation extremely seriously and want to address my fans, the investors who have been affected, and the broader community. I'm fully cooperating with and committed to assisting the legal team representing the individuals impacted, as well as I hope to uncover the truth, hold responsible parties accountable, and resolve this matter. If you have experienced losses related to this, please contact Berwick Law using the link below. So it looks like to me, or sounds like to me, A, she didn't write that, it comes from a legal team, and B, it sounds like behind the scenes, the people that got rug pulled, the ones that got scammed, who actually believed in this coin, however dumb that is, they're actually suing her. But unfortunately, she's not like famous, so she's got unlimited resources. If enough people sue her off the back of this, she could lose everything. You know, she's only become famous, what, in the last 6 months, 8 months, whatever it may be. Maybe she comes from an affluent family, but I don't think they've got unlimited resources to soak in or to endure or to take all of those lawsuits. So she's in real trouble. She's in real trouble, like legit trouble. So I understand why this statement came out. Now it makes sense why she went ghost for 2 weeks, because most likely she got hit with lawsuits straight away when the rug pull happened, and they've been trying to fucking figure out how to sort things out. But God almighty, bro, what an absolute epic fail. She went from this random interview, right, where fucking propelled her to fame. But to be fair, we should have known she was a bit stinky from that interview she did on that podcast where she was like, oh, the interviewer asked her, if you met that guy again that interviewed you, would you say thank you? And she said, no, I wouldn't thank him. Because she's still holding on to the grudge, because at the time when this interview dropped, she had told that guy to delete it or take it down. He didn't take it down. And thank God he didn't, because it changed her life. But she still holds on to the grudge now, even though she's made millions off of this. It's like, come on, man, or million of this. Come on. So the fact that she wasn't appreciative of that kind of help inadvertently that she got from that dude, or had any kind of grace about her, probably says a lot more about her personality. But wow, what an epic fail, man. What an epic fail. And to be honest, she deserves it. You don't rug pull like that. Rug pulling is fucking horrible, evil, and downright disgusting. Especially people that don't need to do it. You got money. You basically got a job with your podcast. You basically also got jobs being an influencer and other things as well. Like, fucking hell, man. Just want fast money and the money up front. Don't want to settle for just receiving a check every month or every quarterly. It's just like greed, pure and utter greed and selfishness. Now she's paying the ultimate price. People are suing her, and yeah, man, it's looking fucking mad out here. No new podcast in a while. It's looking fucking mad out here. Moving on, and probably the last topic, probably before I move on, actually, maybe a couple more. This is featuring Clarrissa Shields. Clarrissa Shields has been in the news now, mainly because of her relationship with what's his name, Remy Ma's guy, Papoose. Is it Papoose? Yeah, Papoose. So Clarrissa Shields is now dating Papoose. I've seen her in the news because her and Remy Ma are going back and forth and shit. Standard shit, you know, standard like group chat, standard like public group chat shit that we don't need to know about. So whatever, let them deal with it. But I thought this clip was very interesting from her appearance on some podcast where they ask her about her relationship with money and her family and shit. And this kind of piggybacks off of what I said previously, or the topic I covered about what Leomi Anderson was speaking about, right? Leomi Anderson, I'm sure some of you guys who know who that is. She's a model. Is that her name? Leomi, where is she? There you go, here. So Leomi Anderson, the model, the supermodel actually, here from the UK, legendary supermodel back in the day, and still doing her fucking bits now. She tweeted recently this tweet, which I thought was very interesting to kind of talk about in a pod, where she says, money is actually triggering topic for me. I've grown sensitive So I've grown so sensitive to it over the past 2 years because the way my family thinks I'm a bank is so insane to me and literally angers my spirit. I legit have to count to 10 before responding back sometimes. Again, money is actually triggering. Topic for me, I've grown so sensitive to it over the past 2 years because the way my family thinks I'm a bank is so insane to me and literally angers my spirit. I legit have to count to 10 before responding back sometimes. And I, spoke about it and how I'm a bit conflicted. I can see both sides, but I think the Clarrissa Shields video here really, really, really puts it into perspective. And it's really sad. It's really sad and puts it in perspective and makes you think, God almighty, man. Having money and being from, a black family and having a big family must be its own type of, like, I wouldn't say hell, but it sounds very difficult. If you become super successful and you're the only person, it sounds like its own challenge to deal with and how to handle it appropriately without falling out with everybody. Because what Clarrissa Shields says in this interview, it's fucking wild.
People say it's lonely at the top, but damn, this lonely?
Clarrissa, you got more fame and more money than you ever have in your life. How's your family dealing with that?
Sadly, I have, and it's not just from family and close, but it's close friends who I grew up with. Some people I never thought I'd be living my life without. Listen, I done bought every last one of my siblings a car.
Really?
Bought my mama a house, my mama 2 cars, my daddy a car. Help him with his bills, help mama with her bills, help my sister take care of her 3 kids. Her 3 kids live with me. I go there, sit with the teachers, go to teacher conferences. I do all this stuff, and it seemed like the more you do, the more that they don't like you.
Wow.
I overlooked how much my sister, started disliking me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Jesus. I never done nothing to her. I don't want to get emotional, you know what I'm saying? But me and my sister got the same mama and same daddy, and we grew up together. And, she just, you work so hard to make all this money and to have a good life for yourself, and then the people who you want to share it with, they just change on you.
Jesus Christ.
And it's hurtful because people say it's lonely at the top, but damn, this lonely, you know what I'm saying? People shouldn't feel like because I work my butt off that they deserve my money and they deserve my time and they deserve to tell me who I can and can't hang around, and they can be so entitled. Family shouldn't be like that. Now all of a sudden, I'm the bad person, but I wasn't a bad person when I was doing backflips for you. I didn't have no boundaries. You can talk to me how you want to talk to me. You can trigger me. You can make me cry. You can mess up fights. You can do all this stuff. As soon as I tell you no to something, I can buy you a car, put you in a house, pay all your bills.
It ain't enough.
People don't want what you give them. They want what you have.
Say that again.
People don't want what you give them. They want what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And that there you can't have. You can't have what I done worked hard for.
Right.
That is crazy, isn't it? That is fucking crazy. Fell out of her sister essentially because she said no once and her sister held a grudge. Or most likely what happened, as someone else previously said about the lending money thing, I think people have, smarter people have said this before, that if you ask somebody for money or if you lend a friend money, also accept or anticipate that you may lose that friend forever. Right? But I think somebody also said, I think in the stream chat once, that every time you ask somebody for money, that person, every time they're going to build resentment for you because they are upset secretly, or probably like unconsciously, they're upset that they're even in a position where they have to ask you for money. Because usually when people ask you for money, they need it. That's the really distressing thing about it. Very rarely do people ask you for money just so they can buy drugs or hang out and shit. No, they need it. They need it. They're down bad. They need the money. They need you to help them. So it probably is even harder to say no because you know they need it. But sometimes you have to say no because if you don't, they're going to think you have unlimited resources. But then I think to myself, I wonder if people like this actually do think that though. They do think that if you're put in a position where you're, because imagine, she's Clarrissa Shields, right? She's a world famous boxer, champion, killer. So she's the fortunate one in her family to make it in a big way. That's a problem as well because usually in families, no one really makes it, right? Usually, because no one really makes it in general because, these higher levels of success and whatever, and fame, whatever you are in your field, these are hard to obtain. Not everyone can get there. So not everybody in families makes it anyway. But why is it when someone does make it, they make it in the most biggest way? It's never like some minor making it. It's never, this guy just has like a really good job. No, it's always like, no, this guy's a CEO. This person's the area manager. This person's the fucking global coordinator. It's not just some, this person's got a full-time. No. You're the highest of the highest. So maybe because of that, they feel like you're like a blessing for the family. I'm trying to understand it from the side of the person who's like entitled and expecting and greedy and whatever, all right? I think that person thinks you're like a blessing to the overall family, and it's you've been put in a position and it's your fucking role to give now, because God has kind of granted you this special grace, this luck, this talent, this acumen, this work ethic, right? This drive, this grit, this determination, intelligence, understanding, whatever. You've been granted that so that you can now take your whole family out of poverty, which is insane to me, to be honest. To be responsible for your whole entire family is wild. One person is fucking insane. It maybe you should help put people in positions to help them pull themselves out, right? As you were put in position because you got the job or you invented something or you're really good at sports, that put in position to help yourself get out. But to have one person be responsible for pulling everybody out is wild. And I think it works in America because Americans get paid more than we do anyway, in general, across the board. Like, I've worked in marketing, I've worked in social media. My last job that I got fired from was working as a customer support, right? Online customer support, customer services. And at that job, I think I was on like 27,000 a year. But I think in that particular role, doing customer support online for like a well-established company or brand, you could probably get 30,000 a year in America for that role, I'm assuming. You could probably get 35,000, 40,000. So if regular jobs pay way better than UK jobs, because I remember even when I used to be a social media manager or like a marketing manager, the most I ever got for those roles was like 35 grand a year. And I've seen roles as a social media manager in America for 50K. So I can only imagine if they're paying employees who work in companies 2 times what maybe we get paid in the UK as a salary, I can only imagine how much more money athletes get. Celebrities, media figures. It must be crazy because that's the only way that makes sense how she could support her whole family. Because how can a female boxer, have the ability to buy everybody cars, everybody houses, and still be okay? That must mean she gets paid a lot. But because she gets paid a lot, that doesn't fucking mean that they're entitled to it, you know? That's the wild shit. Because she gets paid a lot for her talent, a lot for her craft, a lot for her skill, they somehow think like, oh yeah, that's too much. You should spend on other people. No, why should I? My immediate family, yeah, but why should I spend on everybody else? Why? It's just like a different level of a job scale. Some jobs pay poorly, some jobs pay really well. It doesn't mean because it pays really well that I have to now give away all my money. That's not how it works. But in black communities, that's a bit different. It's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult and different. And I have to be honest, I sometimes feel as if maybe I lean towards the side of maybe if you are blessed in that way, you should be responsible for getting your people right. I sometimes feel that way because it is one of those things that doesn't happen to everybody. Not everybody can be a streamer. Not everybody can be a footballer, actor, influencer, whatever, athlete. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone can have a successful business, can have, can ascend the corporate ladder, can become a partner at their law firm, all this. Not everyone does that. So if you do that and you're from humble beginnings and you have family back home that are hurting, why shouldn't you help them? But I don't like the expecting. I don't like the people who then, when you say no to something, they immediately hate you. Because you're allowed to say no. You should be allowed to say no. You should be. Like what? How many? And also, or maybe request. Maybe limit your request. How many times can you request money from me per month? If you requested money from me 5 times a month, and I gave you money 3 of those times, I gave you 5 grand. What the fuck are you doing with the money that I've given you? I've given you 15 grand this month, and now you need more. What have you done with the 15 grand I've given you? You know? But then you also don't want to be that person that's asking people what they're doing with the money, because you sound,
You sound a bit nuts. I mean, you sound like a loan shark, or I don't know. It sounds icky, you know. When you're like telling people like you should either give freely or don't give at all. But you should be giving, asking. You know what I mean? That's how you should do it, I think. But I can only imagine how it feels to her because she fell out with her sister, bro. She fell out with her blood sister over this, and most likely just because she said no one time. She fell out with her blood sister just because she said no one time. Her sister doesn't talk to her no more. And you know, black people and our grudges. Black people and our grudges, family grudges, they probably don't speak to each other anymore. That's a really heartbreaking side of it. So yeah. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Yeah, big up Young of As I Relate. Your money is their money, and their money is there, and there is no ceiling. Yeah, exactly. Your money is their money, and there is no ceiling. Exactly, which is fucking incredible, isn't it? Really, it's fucking incredible. People can think like that. That to be that entitled, is fucking crazy. I don't want to parent adults. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. But unfortunately, some people do need parenting. Some adults do need blood clot parenting. Thank you so much for tuning in to D Agostino Zinga Show, episode numero 489. It's been a pleasure to have your company on episode number 489, part 5. Obviously, I have to do a part 6 now because I've still got loads of time to get through. But random shows coming up, so I'm going to bounce. So we're going to have a part 6 coming up after the fact. So please forgive me for keep going through these parts, but it is what it is. If you're watching this show live via the streaming platforms, please make sure you smash the like button down below. That'd be great. If you're listening to it via the podcast app after the fact, thank you so much for tuning in. There should be timestamps down below if you can jump around and do what it needs to be. Also, underneath my voice, you should be hearing the tune of the day. The tune of the day for me today on this particular podcast is the song by Bones, the legendary Bones. The song is Airplane Mode. That is my song of the day from Bones, Airplane Mode, playing underneath my voice right now. Hope you enjoy it, those of you listening via the podcast app. If you're watching it via YouTube, unfortunately, you won't hear nothing because, YouTube copyright shit, everything else in between. So thank you for tuning in. Links to the email of myself is down below. Links to the random show is also down below if you want to check that out. Random show is coming up very soon in about 15 minutes. And I'll see the rest of you guys again later. Thank you for tuning in to the Agostino Zinga Show, episode number 489, part 5. Thank you for tuning in. Be well, people. Be well and be safe. Thank you. Have a good time. Peace.